A little Italian sea serpent boy leaves the comfort under the sea to brave the world above with his new friends, but he has to be careful to not be discovered by the human jerks who love to hunt sea monsters.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 149.
almost to 150, y'all. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. You went, and then it just reminded me of that.
Yeah, I was, you ready to battle.
y'all, we getting somewhere.
Yeah, we get
That's right.
somewhere.
So-
Almost to 150.
So this week we are talking about the brand new Pixar film Luca. Just came out,
Luca.
2021.
For free on Disney
it's
Plus.
free
so if
on
you
Disney
haven't
Plus.
watched it, you totally can.
And-
if you have Disney Plus.
and I'll
if not, get your friends pass.
Right, and I'll say now that I do recommend it. Right, I'll just off the bat. If you haven't seen Luca,
Yeah.
I'd say go watch it. It's worth a
and
watch.
it's free. You might as well put it on.
Right.
And it's going to be spoiler heavy. So if you haven't watched it yet,
Pause
Pause
it,
us.
go watch it, then unpause us.
Indeed.
Okay.
But first, we have some housekeeping to do, just some stuff to fill you guys in on that's going on in the Walt Vault world, our plans for the immediate future. This summer, we are going to be doing another Summer of Heroes.
It ain't summer without Summer of Heroes, okay?
That's right. We got to
Truth.
talk about
That's
some
just the way it is.
superhero
Things will
movies.
never be
that's
the
just
same.
the way it
It's
is.
just the way it is. Things will never be the same, you know?
Things will never be the same.
Starting with 150, we getting down with the get down on the Summer of Heroes.
That's right.
And with that, we are going to come at you every week for
Oh.
Yeah,
Marvel.
because Luis, he's on summer vacation, okay?
It's called Summer Lou.
Summer Lou's in the house.
Okay. Sun's out.
Watching
breeze.
soccer,
Guns out.
and
Makes
eating
you
food,
feel fine.
and
Lose in.
doing things like playing Pokemon.
FYI,
On
I'm
the
only
Switch.
doing one of those 5 things
Oh,
but
okay.
at this moment.
He's
so.
currently watching soccer.
Because it is the Euros.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andre's
All right, let's go ahead and continue.
So
every week for like the next 6 weeks.
yes, we'll be
You're
talking more Marvel movies. They'll be revealed as time goes on. But
And to fill some of our listeners in who might be newer, should we tell them why we have Summer of Heroes, what we did that one year when we were insane and decided to watch every single Marvel movie leading up to Infinity War?
oh yeah,
ju-
that's
you
right.
just told them.
I mean,
Well,
that
that's
was it.
kind of how Summer of Heroes originated. We watched every single Marvel movie
in preparation for
in
Doctor Strange.
preparation for Doctor Strange coming into the theater.
right, which is leading into Infinity War.
I highly recommend that people still do that. It's a chore, but it's a chore that you can handle.
I mean,
Okay.
in terms of chores, that's the chore that I'll
My
take.
mom is kind of working her way through them right now. Shout out to my mama.
But didn't you say
So-
she's doing it out of order?
She's doing a weird order. Okay?
Brenda.
She
But-
watched like Captain America. Wait, no, she didn't yet.
I don't think
Or
she's-
Iron Man. She watched all the Thors, like Thor 1, Thor 2, Thor Ragnarok. Don't know why. Then she watched all the Guardians. And then she watched Ant-Man, but not Ant-Man and the Wasp.
But to be fair, we have done the same thing on this podcast. You
For
know,
sure.
Yeah.
Our Summer of Heroes, they've gone up and down
not
and
in
in
order.
between. It's definitely not in any kind of order. Some of it makes a little bit of sense. Like I think last summer we did like Civil War into Captain Marvel and then Endgame. So those
Yeah.
kind of like
oh,
lined
yeah,
up.
that was
but,
a good one.
But yeah, for the most part, we're kind of all over
The
the
first
place
year
as
we
well.
just did what we liked.
Yes.
It's like Black Panther and
Iron
whatever.
Man
yeah.
and the Avengers, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Guardians,
we're all
yeah.
over the place, but we're gonna hit some more of the movies that we have not discussed.
We're going to kind of do some origins and then some
Yes.
sequels.
Exactly. And when we'll
It'll be
talk,
a good time.
we'll talk about how all of that stuff is going to come back around in the present and future of
Phase 4?
of the
Is that what
MCU.
we're in?
Yes, we're in phase.
And
4.
guess what? We throwing in some shows, baby.
That's right. Our Falcon and Winter Soldier review is forthcoming, as well as a Loki review. And then, when more shows come out, the What If, the She-Hulk, the Miss Marvel, all that stuff, we'll be on top of it and bringing you reviews there. First, coming to patreon.com/The Walt Vault. So sign up there. It's only $1. You'll get those episodes early, baby. So that's that. Get ready, get hyped.
It's Marvelous Summer.
For the
Maybe we
Summer
should
of Heroes.
dress up and that'd be fun. Everybody dress up as their favorite Marvel
For
character.
the audio podcast.
I'll dress up as a Flurkin. Just
The
wear-
Flurkin.
Yeah, just wear a cat costume.
That's honestly the best character
Shelter's
in
got
the
a
universe.
kitty cat outfit that she's
Yeah.
been ready to wear this whole time.
We could just like Photoshop the on her face.
That'd be hilarious.
Or you could just show up as yourself and be a cruel or whatever you call those.
Scroll.
A scroll.
Oh,
Yeah, technically,
that's smart.
Luis, that's the lazy person.
Hey,
Luis knows what's up.
I'm a scroll. You can't tell because I'm shapeshifting right now.
Have you
Yeah.
seen that? I think Luis sent it to us. It was like an essay, and you were supposed to write it from the perspective of a Marvel character. I feel like it was you, Luis, and it said like, name, I am Groot. Something, I am Groot, I am
think
Groot,
so,
I am
yeah,
Groot.
yeah, yeah,
Like
I
the
think
whole
so,
essay
yeah,
was I am
yeah.
Groot. Yeah.
Seriously.
700
That
words
teacher
of I am
probably
Groot.
was trying to be, oh, I'm going to be hecka cool, relatable, and all this stuff, and then hating his life afterwards.
Great.
You know what? And you can't even be mad
A+.
because that
Yeah.
is Groot.
I am Groot is a full sentence.
That
so.
is true. Vin Diesel. Okay.
Thanks, Vin Diesel. Okay, so
Signs it as Vin Diesel.
so
I am
in,
Groot. Vin Diesel.
in addition to Summer of Heroes, we're also going to be trying a new thing on the podcast. We're going to be asking you guys a would you rather question at the top of the episode every day, and then we'll post that up on the gram later.
Yes, and we want to hear your guys' answers
Yes,
too.
we want to
This
hear
is like
your answers to the various would you rather's.
and battles may or may not be making a comeback.
Yes, battles
Okay.
may return.
And then hopefully, if we get enough momentum with beginner warm-up questions, we might even extend them to you guys to ask us a warm-up question, and then
Ooh, yeah.
if we can get that turned in a timely manner, then we may even include your question.
Such a teacher.
I know,
No.
Teacher
When you turn
Lou,
it in a timely manner.
with no errors or typos.
Yeah,
I don't care about none of that. I just want it to be turned in.
I care. No,
Very
no
good.
typos, please.
Good idea, Luis. So we have our first warm-up. What are we going to really call it? Warm-up question? I feel like I'm warming up for a soccer
That
game.
is a
Luis.
Luis. That's a
Yeah.
Luis.
Well, why
question.
not? Warm up.
Okay.
Yeah, this
I
one.
got to warm it up, okay? And
Wind up.
Andre came up with our very first warm-up question.
Yes. Okay. So, would you rather? All right.
High stakes, y'all.
It's high stakes out here.
Would you rathers are hard. Whew, okay.
Would you rather have complete, free, unlimited access to the Disneyland Park and California Adventure? Okay, you can get in there for free anytime, unlimited amounts of
The
time.
rest of my life?
For the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
you can go in whenever. Okay, but the food and merch is priced at what a 100%
No, that's
markup.
not what it is.
Oh, that's not what.
You can literally never eat the food.
Well,
Oh,
that's the whole point.
that was the would you rather.
No, it's not priced higher. It's you can't have it.
Right, but I'm saying, would you rather
Oh.
have free unlimited access to Disneyland but not be able to eat any food,
Oh.
With
or would you rather have free unlimited access to Disneyland but
the food and merch.
the food and merch is priced at 100% markup?
so you out here spending it.
I have my answer.
Okay.
It is free Disneyland with 100% markup. Because first of all, I usually buy my merch on Shop Disney and not from the Disney parks. If I get something from the Disney park, it's usually just a mug. And I don't really want to pay $40 for a mug, but I probably would if I had to. Because that'd be 100% markup. But if I could never eat the food again,
Right.
that's the whole point of Disney for Andre and I. And if I'm getting in for free, then I could spend more money on food.
That's true.
And literally 95% of what Andre and I do at Disneyland is eat.
We like to say
So
that.
I couldn't give that up. So that's
Okay,
my answer.
Let me go second.
Okay.
So, kind of on the same vein as Michelle, especially now. So when Luis and I first got married, like our honeymoon, quote unquote, to ourselves was getting annual passes. And then the second year we were like, let's just do it again because it has the rollover and all that. And since then, it's been like, whoa, it's expensive, right? And with everything going up and with no annual passes anymore,
No discounts.
no discounts. I'm thinking like, all right, it's going to be so expensive for us to go. So I would say in this situation, I would rather do the 100% markup because if I'm not paying for the cost of the ticket,
Right.
I could spend, especially now that we're paying for Addie too. Like we could be
Yeah.
spending like $400 in merch and food
And be okay.
and be like equaling out what we would have paid for.
breaking
Yeah,
even.
I agree.
Well, and you guys are different because it's just the two of you. But
Yeah.
now with me and Lou, it's me, him, and the kid.
We budget on our food anyways. We go to Target and buy the Disney gift cards and get them at 5% off. That's what we did for Disney World. Like, psh, it would have been fine, you know?
Yeah, we did
but
that
there's
too.
no way. You're telling me I can never put a churro in my mouth? Absolutely
Never
not.
again.
You're
Not from
you can believe
Disneyland.
me. That's a bunch of bull. Okay? It's literally like, no, it's not happening.
You can leave Disneyland, go over to
Disneyland
Universal, get in there,
popcorn?
buy
Are
one of
you
their
kidding
dumb
me?
churros, and then go back.
Ooh, popcorn.
Disneyland popcorn's the bee's knees. It ain't a parade without Disneyland popcorn. I
Truth.
can't do it.
Right.
I can't do it.
Disneyland
Literally
Starbucks.
can't. I can't do that either. You know, I gotta have a Starbucks in my hand, okay?
Could it be a Dutch Bros though? Okay.
I wish. Luis, you think you got an answer?
Luisi.
So it's pretty much it's unlimited Disneyland no matter what.
Yes.
You either get to choose no food,
No food.
and then you still buy like shirts and buttons.
Yeah. You can.
The shoes and Burtons.
You
I'm
can
sure.
still do shoes and buttons. Mhm.
Okay.
Did you bleep that?
Yeah, I got it.
Same here. Food, man. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go with that. I would rather choose the option to be able to eat food there and
Right.
Yeah.
pay money
To
for
pay-
it
to pay
than
more.
yeah.
Which is
I
hilarious
never
because
even
he
like
never
buying
wants
merch
to eat
anyways.
there.
You
Yeah.
literally can tell where our priorities lie as
Even-
adults.
but
We're
even-
like, food.
Even nowadays,
Food
like what
me.
you get a stuffy and you can buy 2 corn dogs, 3 corn dogs for the price of a stuffy.
Probably 5.
See,
Why do you need a stuffy? You're not gonna eat the dang thing. Not gonna provide
We're going
you
next
anything.
month and we've
Stuffy.
already budgeted in our stuffies.
Legit. Andre and I are going to Disneyland next week. We already planned our whole budget.
Yup.
Like, we know what's in the budget, what's not.
Yeah.
Ain't no stuffies.
And a lot of it is food. It's one mug for me, one hat for him, and the rest is food.
One half of me.
It's a hat.
I think I'm kind of on you guys' side, but I want to play devil's advocate
Please.
here just a little bit. I think I might choose free unlimited entry into Disneyland with not being able to touch any of the food.
No, you wouldn't.
Because it's kind of a
You're lying.
It's kind of a very specific challenge for myself, right?
Have fun, honey.
I go, I buy as many snacks as I could fit into my backpack. Okay, I got sandwiches, I got Pop-Tarts, I got cheeses and stuff all up in there, and then I walk.
No fruit?
No fruit. That's gonna go bad in the back.
No pickles? No pickles?
I'll buy a jar of pickles and bring those too. And then,
I hope it leaks in your
oh
backpack.
no, nasty.
Get the
And
brine
then
everywhere.
Then they might be extra warm, bro.
and you know what's crazy about this choice is that the smello pumps or whatever that they got at
Yeah.
Disneyland that just pump out popcorn and churro smells at you. Those are going to be in full effect. Even though I've chosen this and I have to really fight against.
He's such a liar. He would
against
never
nature.
choose that.
It's funny that you
dig
guys-
into my backpack and get
You're
that peanut butter and
hardcore
jelly.
lying. Okay, fine. I'll eat all the jambalaya, the gumbo, right in front of your face.
Oh, because you chose the
so
other one while we went
delicious.
together? Oh my god.
Yummy, yum.
Evil.
Yeah, you're a big fat liar. I would even buy a pickle
Okay.
and eat it right in front of you, and I don't even like pickles.
Now wait, this doesn't make any sense if you and I go and I'm trying to save money by bringing in these
Too
snacks
bad, homie.
and you're over there paying $40 for a bowl of gumbo.
And not sharing.
that
That's
was
my
a
money.
choice you made, sir.
All right.
He's a big fat liar playing devil's advocate. He would never choose that.
I was trying to save us some money.
I'll
Dang.
double fist micheladas right in front of you.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm bringing the tall can. I'll sneak it in.
Okay.
I'm sure Disney's going to let you
I'll
do
find
that.
somewhere to hide it, okay? You can't stop me.
All right, well, listeners, let us know what you would choose.
Yes,
And don't lie
please.
to our face like Andre.
If you can save money like me, let us know.
I'm surprised Luis didn't want to
But your
save
mom
money.
was like that, babe. Didn't you say when you would go on trips, she would bring the sandwiches?
Yes, absolutely.
and-
Like when you and I first went on our
when we went.
first few Disney trips, I was like, "Oh, you like get in line and paying all this money for all this food?" And
Yeah, it like weirded
that's
him
like really
out.
weird because when we were little, my mom would pack us lunches and Capri Suns and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff. And we rolled through there,
And I-
walk past the ice cream shops and the churro carts. I wouldn't get any of that, and we,
Yeah.
we'd sit down and eat the stuff we brought.
And my family was the complete opposite. We were making reservations for all the food every day. Blue Bayou up in there. Like
Up
food,
in
food is
there.
a lifestyle. Disney food is a lifestyle. And also Disney food has gotten so much better over the years.
That was my other
that
thing.
it's so I want to eat it now.
I remember going in high school, and even in high school where I had zero taste and sense of anything,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that
We
good.
would just go to Pizza Planet and get a slice of pizza. That
right?
was, like,
Which
about
also
it.
wasn't very
It was not good, but
Right.
we went there anyway. Or a corn dog. Like that
Yeah.
was it. And now I want to try, they got Oh.
Every new thing I
They
want to try.
got gourmet food now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all really good.
Yeah, it's absolutely delicious.
And like the
Andre-
food and wine that they
Oh,
do.
Festival.
yes.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah.
Remember that one time we went and we just ate everything?
Yes. Did we get a margarita or a michelada the first time where we were messed up watching World of Color?
We ain't never been messed up.
Okay, it was me and Andre then. I think
Don't be throwing that out.
I
That's
think-
bad juju at Disney.
well, maybe you
I've
weren't
been-
messed up, but I was.
I've been messed up at Disney before.
Yeah, we've been messed up at Disney.
I
You
mean-
never done that?
I've been meat sweats messed up, but it was a whole kind
No.
of different.
You got no turkey leg. That's
Dude,
the
what was
answer.
that place called?
one?
Wasn't it a backyard jamboree or something like that?
Yeah.
Backyard
What did that used to be
jamboree.
called? In the back where like Star Wars: The Galaxy's Edge is kind of now.
House?
Oh, it was like the barbecue, the
Yeah.
rodeo.
Yeah, that
Oh.
thing.
It was Big Thunder Ranch, something like
yes,
that.
yes.
Ooh,
so
the
they used to
barbecue
have
there.
the barbecue.
We never had it, babe.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I'd been there before. Oh,
So we did
So
that,
good.
and Luis literally ate so much that he was like, "I've got the meat sweats,"
Meat Swiss.
and he all day long was so mad.
Yeah,
yeah.
man, the Meat Swiss, they don't stop. Okay.
No, he
On-
literally was sick all the time. It was like you ate 8 turkey legs.
And I have like literally eaten at every single restaurant in Disney.
Yeah.
I think at this point. We
Yeah.
had an ongoing list. So we had the annual passes like you, and we were like, we're going to eat at every single
You're like,
restaurant.
it's the world tour of Disney food.
Heck yeah.
Okay, can I do
So-
my last housekeeping thing before
Oh,
we start?
yes, yes,
You
yes.
got it.
Okay, so this housekeeping is for you listeners. I, Emily, am usually the person who's moderating our social media accounts.
Usually you definitely are. I don't touch
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I'll
it's
be
Emily.
up in there, and so I'm probably
I take a glance
commenting
from
for
time to time.
everybody. But I just want to say I love it when you guys disagree with us because it's fun. We like different perspectives. But if you come up in there and you are doing
you
some
curse words.
if you be using some expletives,
Yeah.
Emily's not going to be so happy, okay? Yes, we have explicit episodes, but we try to keep it as family friendly because this is a Disney podcast online and in our normal episodes.
You
That's
being
why
aggressive? Mm-mm.
yeah, so if you come up in here with an FU, Emily's going to get a little angry, okay?
It's very interesting because we did an explicit episode about Oliver and Company,
That's fine.
and we didn't have great opinions about it or positive opinions about it necessarily. And I assume that the person who left that comment did not listen to the episode. I think
No.
they just saw what we posted and were like, oh, somebody's
It was
being
just like
negative
it
about
was
Oliver
just
and
like the
Company.
Chicken Little dude.
I gotta get in there. And
yeah, there was a chicken
tell
little
them what's
dude too.
what. So chances are, if you're listening to the episodes, you weren't the type of person to leave this comment. But we do want to throw it out there that like, hey, we're people, and you don't have to like be mean to us.
Yeah, and you can come out and like disagree. I'm all
Absolutely.
about that. We love being wrong and being, told
Yeah.
what's what, but
That's
don't be
fine.
coming at
We'll
us with an
argue.
FU, okay? Not cool with it.
My heart.
Thankfully, Senor went back in and deleted it immediately after I said, hey, that was a bit aggressive. And he was like, all right, I'll delete my comment. I was trying to like tag Andre so he
Deleted.
could see it. No, that guy was gone.
Yeah, he was gone.
Bye.
He was gone. He was gone.
Outta
Okay.
there.
Yeah, but I don't care. You can disagree with us, but yeah, don't come in here with a FU. That's okay. We don't like that.
Yeah. Especially over Oliver and Company. Come on. Holy
Man,
moly.
if we were like hating on Moana, go ahead, tell me. But like,
I'm going to be like, brother, priorities. Okay.
yeah,
So yeah.
family-friendly disagreements.
yeah, be
but
nice
I
and-
mean,
be
we
nice in the
we
comments.
disagree with each other all the time. So
bleep your
it is
comments
fun.
for us, just as we bleep
You can
the
even
episodes
put
for
like
you.
a bleep.
yeah. Throw in some bleeps if you're
That'd
gonna
be kind of
aggressive.
funny. Just
That
put
would be-
bleep in the comment. I like that. But this is a non-explicit episode today because Luca just came out. I know that there are a lot of kids freshly watching this movie. My nieces and nephews
Freshly.
included. Some kids I work with at work are all watching this. It's really fun when
Little
a new
Adeline and Olivia.
when a new Disney movie comes out for kids. For adults too, but especially for kids. Like
Yeah, this is a little kid one.
this is
in
a
a
kid
good
one.
way.
Soul was definitely more adult. This was more kids. So I'm gonna give my first impression.
Hit it.
I didn't watch many trailers on this besides the first one we watched because I didn't want to know too much. But I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie because it was very simple. It was very fun. It wasn't too adult Pixar where sometimes like Soul I'm not going to put on in the background and just watch it. It's like, no. But this one I could definitely just put on and happily watch again. I really liked the storyline. I thought it was very cute. The animation was very nice. They did a good job with the location. And I really liked the storyline. It was cute, simple. I had fun. I enjoyed watching it.
Can I ask everyone a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can just say yes or no if you want. Michelle, was it what you expected?
No.
Andre?
No.
Lou?
Definitely not. No.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
I didn't
either.
really watch the trailers, remember?
No, me neither. But Luis and I had some strong opinions going in.
You
like
did. We were all
we
I
were
was
all
like,
like,
man,
I ain't
do we
into
have
no
to watch
merman,
this?
okay. So I think it was almost a pleasant surprise that it wasn't merman.
No,
Anywho,
it wasn't
Right.
really.
Next
it was
person.
very nice.
next person with their first impression, I just had to know that.
Yeah.
Before we went
Luis,
on.
I want to know yours. What's your first impression?
I like this movie quite a bit.
Good. I'm so glad.
I don't think I was on my phone or my Game Boy at all.
Oh.
You were the most skeptical going into it, so I wanted to know what your opinion
Yeah,
would
I liked it quite a bit. I definitely would watch it all over again after 1 day, 2 days.
What was your favorite thing about it? Because you
I
had
liked
very
the old school portrayal of the 40s or 50s, whatever it was.
Italy.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked that quite a bit. It showed a different. I don't know. I mean, it seems like Disney has gotten a bit stale sometimes with their timelines. Like it's either modern day or it's like like ancient civilization, but you never really meet anything in the middle
Right.
that I could remember. Last one was probably Aristocats that I could remember off the top of my head, but there's probably a few in between that I'm missing.
That old school
But
feel
I
to
kind
it.
of like the fact that they go into different decades instead of two different ends.
I agree.
Indeed.
I'm same with that. I really enjoyed the time period because it made almost the whole thing more fun. It made like no technology, no like a simple life
Right.
in an Italian, fishing
Ocean
town.
yeah.
And I loved that it was in Italy because it just added a whole new perspective on the different parts of life. And I thought it was nice because have we really had any Italian anything?
No.
I don't think so.
Not really.
I mean,
I feel like we have a lot of Northern European stuff.
There's a lot of French
Pinocchio.
stuff.
Oh,
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But that wasn't too Italian, really.
Right. There
It's
was-
an Italian story. Like when you go to Italy,
Right.
there's Pinocchios everywhere, but they didn't really portray it super
Right.
that way.
Right. Yeah. I think that's basically it. I'm racking my brain, but I'm not pulling any other Italian stuff.
Well,
from
good. I'm
Disney
glad you
movies.
liked it too,
Yeah, I did.
Andre.
Yes, I also thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like Michelle, I thought that its simplicity is its strength. The story is pretty straightforward, but there still managed to be some good surprises and stuff in there. I thought that the animation was freaking beautiful,
Yeah.
like all the way through. It looks really good. And then the performances were really fun. I like all the characters. And listen, it being set in Italy really gives it a cool setting and fun things to play with. And like one of my favorite things on earth watching movies is like accents. So having little Giulia and Massimo and stuff like that, and they're all speaking in their little Italian accent. I just love it. I get a real
love that
kick off
fact,
of it.
too.
I love.
Yeah.
What was the holy mozzarella? It wasn't holy mozzarella.
Oh, it was like holy mozzarella.
It was a
Holy-
different Italian
It
cheese
was a
every time,
cheese
and it
each
was
time.
so funny.
Silen-
Holy gorgonzola!
Silencio, Bruno. All that
Silencio,
stuff.
Bruno.
It's great.
Just so cute.
I like it a lot. Yeah, this movie was very cute.
Did you guys watch the extra
Yes.
about
I giggled.
the?
The uncle.
No. Oh, that's the after credit scene.
The
Did you
post-credit
watch
scene.
the extra, like when you go down on Disney Plus and then you
Oh, no.
scroll over to extras? It had a whole video on the director and how he based this movie on the Italian town that he grew up in.
Well,
and, like,
I read
having a
about
summer
that.
there. Oh, you guys should watch that. It made me appreciate it like a lot more too. So it's
yeah.
very authentic to
That's
him.
cool.
The director is,
And I could feel that in the movie.
the director is Enrico Casarosa, and yeah, there's a whole like little like 12-minute documentary on Disney Plus about
cool.
him returning to this hometown that he was in, and how they set up shots and how helpful it was to go to Italy and see how the people behaved so
And
that they
they
could animate it for
just
this
like
movie.
taking shots of the buildings or the way the water moves and the murky color. They were
Sure.
talking about how they wanted to get the color of the ocean exactly right
I
or
knew it.
whatever. So, it
the-
was really cool.
The director of this movie, he directed the Pixar short La Luna, the one where they're going up to the moon and like grabbing the stars and stuff like that. And this movie's style kind of reminded me of that short. So
I've never seen that short.
Oh no, I don't remember which. I don't remember which movie.
It's cute.
I have seen it, but I don't remember what movie it's associated with.
It's not associated with, like which one it
before.
came out in front of. I don't know.
Well, and let's be real. I feel like that doesn't really matter anymore now that we have Disney Plus.
That's
like
true.
They all blend together.
Yeah, and they don't like do it before the movie in Disney Plus anymore.
No,
it's
they don't.
just the movie.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do want to say, and I guess it's different because one is Walt Disney Animation and this is Pixar. One is like Renaissance era, but like I appreciate how the ocean is so different between Little Mermaid, which obviously is not the same type of animation, but like the Little Mermaid, Moana, which blew our mind animation wise, and then Pixar, it just doesn't feel like the same ocean.
No,
and I appreciate that.
Because it's a different area of the world, so it should be different,
That's true.
Like,
Although Little Mermaid, is that Italian? No, that's French too, right?
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be off the French coastline.
Riviera or whatever, which is, close to Italy, I suppose.
Closer than the United
Yeah,
States.
closer than Moana, which is the Pacific Ocean, But yeah, they're all three
And
different
has a
types of oceans, and the water scenes do all look different, but still feel like underwater, which is cool.
I love that they were obsessed with Vespas. I still can't get over that. It was so funny.
Let's get into the plot.
That was hilarious.
Let's get into the plot here a little bit. So the movie starts with like some Italian fishermen going out on a little fishing adventure. It's nighttime though, right?
Yeah, but you go fishing very early or
Sure.
into dusk.
So it's dark. They're going out there. They're like, all right, we got to be careful. There's a sea monsters out there, and
he's gonna be doing this the whole time. Huh?
it's a me Mario in the movie, and. So
Chichio.
So they're going out there.
Luis loves Chichio.
They're going out there, and something starts swimming amongst them. Right? A sea monster appears that they can't see very clearly, and it starts like stealing all their stuff. It feels like a hammer and a wrench and stuff like that. And then
Ariel, dude.
And then eventually it like.
That's what I thought. I was like,
I sent you that thing. I was like, okay, what are we, Ariel? Collecting knickknacks.
Eventually it like jumps out of the water and like scares the pants off of these guys. So they like go back to town and go like, sea monsters are here. They're back. They're out there. And so this Italian town that they're in. What's the town called? Does anybody remember? I'm not sure.
Gorgonzola.
Yeah, Gorgonzola or something. The whole town has kind of has this feud with the sea monsters that live around its around the water in their area.
Mythological
Yes.
theme. Yeah.
So we cut down to beneath the sea, and
Can we pause here for just a second?
Yes, absolutely.
This is where Luis and I were like, please let this be era specific, because you could just tell by the items on the boat,
Right.
with the gramophone and just the way things looked, that it was not like
wasn't
recent.
now.
And we were like, please don't let it be like that happened in the 40s or 50s and now it's 30
2020.
years later or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really excited when you come back up into this underwater part that it wasn't like all rusted and whatever. Like it was freshly dropped in the ocean.
Right there, right now. So yeah, we cut down here and we meet Luca. He's so cute. He's a little sea serpent, sea monster.
That's like a serpent.
It kind of reminds me of Arlo. No, really.
From The Good Dinosaur?
Yes,
Okay.
in the sense of like how cautious he is about stuff like that.
Right.
I thought you meant the way he looked. I was like, good.
No, just like his personality.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, dude, one's a dinosaur, one's a sea serpent. I don't know. Okay.
But
fair enough.
But yeah,
He's an ocean dinosaur, okay?
I guess.
little ocean dinos down there, and
Reminds me of the thing from It's a Small World. You know how they have like the serpent at the very beginning that goes like this with his head?
it just moves around. It's like
find
animatronic
it.
in there. Okay,
And It's a Small World?
on the right. It must be something.
Is it in your head? I
Kind
don't
of
No.
Anyway, Luca, he's a young fishy boy. He's probably like 10 or under, maybe 11. I'm not exactly sure. And he really likes or really enjoys stuff from above the surface. He's got a couple of aerial style knickknacks that he's collected. He wants to go where the people are. He's trying to. It's
He
very
already is
reminiscent.
where the people are,
It's
technically.
But
not Arlo.
he's under the sea.
Now I said Arlo.
Luca.
Please. Luisa, Luca.
So his problem is that his mother is very much King Triton-y in that way of like, you cannot go up there. Going up there will mean your imminent death.
She's not wrong, though.
They will kill you, and it is not safe in any way, shape, or form.
Dude, the dad with the mustache and his beer belly.
And the dad
my
is hilarious.
God.
The dad, I
Yes,
believe,
he's
is
so
played
funny.
by Jim Gaffigan. Yes, his name is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
and the
Come
mom-
on, that's such a good name.
And the mom is named Daniela, and she's played by Maya Rudolph.
So good.
So the mom starts talking to Luca, and she's telling him about how scared he should be and how she's discouraging him from going up to the surface or whatever. And I was like, huh, this Italian lady kind of sounds like a black lady to me. So I
knew that right away. I was like,
I was like, oh no, this is a fully Italian person. So when I looked it up and saw that it was Maya Rudolph, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, mom is very discouraging of anything happening on the surface. So, and also they don't tell Luca, or they don't know themselves, that when a sea person breaches the water and goes up to the surface, they turn into a human, basically. Like they transform and change.
yeah, I don't think I got that either. He seemed way too surprised.
Yeah, he was super surprised, first of all, and then later when the parents go up, they also seem like they didn't know that was going to happen, right?
That's what it seemed like.
But Grandma, on the other hand, definitely knows that's what happens. And
Because at one point she's like, I go up there and I...
Dude, I love the grandma. She's hecking down. She was like, yeah, I've been up there. And the mom's like, don't tell him that. And she's like, what?
go up there every couple weekends or whatever.
Yeah.
She like plays poker and wins or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Beats the humans.
You know, I might need to get fact checked on that, because I'm wondering. I have a vague
I think they knew about the
idea
change.
that they do.
They
know
knew about the change.
Well, he
I
didn't
got,
know.
I don't
He
think
seemed a little too like, I'm up here.
Right.
I don't
like,
think
that's where
Luca. I
he
don't think
reminds me of
Luca
Arlo.
knew, but the parents knew. I think they just got scared when they went up there. They were like, you look ugly."
Well,
Like,
I think they themselves were scared of the surface,
For sure.
and had no intentions of ever going up there, even if they knew that they could transform.
yeah, for sure.
There's
I liked that the magic was just like a quick transformation. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't too like. I didn't really have to suspend a ton of disbelief.
It wasn't like there was I think about Shrek every time. Like right at the end, there's like the huge, like she lifts off the floor and there's like swirling freaking, what do you call that, glitter and...
But it's
Yeah.
funny if you really
Yeah, it was just
look at
simple.
it. It's like when there is water on them.
Yeah.
That's when their scales pop
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. It's almost
So
like
it's not even as if you get wet, it all of a sudden comes up, because it goes away once you're dry.
And I was trying to
That was
think of
pretty
it
cool.
like sea creatures eventually did transform into land animals. Like if you think about it, like amphibians are kind of like in the middle, but the reptiles are the ones that came from the sea and came out and whatever.
Right.
So they're just kind of like a mutated human almost. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of how I was thinking of it as.
Yeah, I think you can definitely see that, and I think there's like a little bit more like subtext to like the history
A
and the
whole bunch of
world
mystiques.
that this is created. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like the reason that mom and dad are so scared of the surface or whatever is because sea monsters have been killed by these humans, or land monsters as they call them,
Which is so cute.
the land monsters, right? Because they're weird and scary looking, and so the fishermen will go out there and harpoon them or whatever if they see one. So they have a reason to be scared, but at the same time, the fact that they have this ability to just like magically change into a human should kind of stop that scariness from happening. If you just go up there and don't go back into the water, don't get sprinkled or whatever.
Yeah,
A
but
water
that's hard
balloon
to
thrown
do.
at you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So Luca, he's going out. He's got like some chores or something that he's supposed to be doing.
like a
He's
shepherd.
a shepherd for fish.
That's right.
And I love that he's talking to the fish like, now listen, you want to happen what happened to Giuseppe? Like, or maybe he's out there living his life. I don't know. But he could have gotten eaten. Like, he's
like
like
this.
literally like best friends with these fish. It's so freaking
I like Giuseppe. He was
Giuseppe the
funny.
fish, yeah. He's
Yeah,
so cute.
He's the one that kept trying to like get away.
He's
Listen,
just
just
drifting off.
Giuseppe.
So,
he's a shepherd.
So he's shepherding, he's herding these fishies, and he finds some of those items that the other sea monster we saw
Takes him to
before.
graze.
Yeah, we see the wrench and the gramophone or whatever, and Luca's getting all super excited. He eventually sees a what he thinks is a land monster, a human, and it's this thing in like an old diving suit, right, with the big
like,
helmet,
think like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Exactly.
For sure.
Suit.
one of those, and it scares the bejesus out of him. So he,
Yeah, that's hecka scary.
I think, does he run back home at this point?
No, he runs and he hides in like a corner of a rock.
Right.
And then what's
Into a
his
little
friend's
cave.
name?
It's Alberto.
Alberto takes the hood off and he's like, "Ha, I got you."
Right.
Hey, heckaroo.
I was not
I'm
expecting
not a
that.
monster. Haha. So Luca is like,
He
what?
said he was coming for his stuff.
Right, he came to get his stuff. So Luca's like, what is happening? What is going on? I've never seen one
And
of
he
these suits
follows
before.
after him,
He
yeah.
follows him. He goes right up to the surface, walks out like it's nothing, transforms into a human boy.
No big deal.
Like it's no big deal. And Luca's like, this is heavy.
he steals his shepherd hook and like hooks him out of the water.
That's right,
and
he
he's
pulls him
like,
out.
He does a little Bo Peep thing. It's very
Yeah.
cute.
So Luca, he transforms for the first time. Which
he is like freaking out.
Which is crazy for him. He's literally never been on land, so he's never been out of the water before. So
I
he
love
doesn't
that
know.
they make their feet look so big, like fins.
He doesn't know how to walk,
No.
which is very funny.
Well, he goes back in.
Yeah,
this time.
that's right.
Yeah.
He goes back in. He goes home. He doesn't tell his parents about Alberto, but the next day he
goes back.
He goes back.
Of course,
And
right? He's like
puts like
so
a little,
enamored.
Puts like a little scarecrow Luca version of himself to shepherd the fish.
He's in charge.
Yeah.
Giuseppe's all what?
Which is funny. So he goes up to hang out with Alberto again. He's like being skittish and not too sure of himself. But eventually he goes up. He changes and he doesn't know how to walk.
He does not know how to walk.
So Alberto's
It's
trying
so
to
funny.
explain.
He's like flopping on the ground, like,
He's
like that was one of the funniest scenes to me.
Alberto's trying to explain like how to walk. He's like, okay, so pretend like you're stacked. Everything is stacked on top of each other like rocks. So from the bottom of the feet things to the top of your head thing, everything's just one on top of the other. And he like stands up, all rigid,
And he's
like.
still so floppy,
and I like how
a
he's
fish.
like, I pretty much invented walking, so I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And when he tries to walk, he tries to move his tail like it's like a fin.
Oh, yeah, no
What
tail.
is it? He's like, my tail, it's gone, but I still feel it. And he says,
Phantom tail.
phantom tail or something.
Yeah, that happens. So Luca and
So
Alberto,
funny.
they formed this little friendship. It turns out Alberto, he and his dad would come to this little island that's right off the coast of the main town. All the time until Alberto's dad he went and left at some point and
Never came back.
and did not come back. But Alberto is like, yeah, my dad will be back at some point. He's coming back. He's like it's like Ray and her parents or whatever. They'll be back. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not delusional. So they start hanging out, and Luca sees in Alberto's like man cave or whatever that there's a poster of a Vespa, and he is obsessed with this
What's
thing.
that?
What is that? Oh, also in this movie, Luca has daydreams all the time, and the daydreams are super stylized and
I think
and
it's
gorgeous.
so cute.
They're very beautiful.
I
his
like
little
the
daydreams.
daydreams.
So he's like riding around a little Vespa through space and
It's
stuff
like
like
flying.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
why does he think it
He
flies?
thinks it can fly. Yeah, he has no real concept of like
I like that
human
they get
behavior.
very they get like super bulbous. Like the
Yeah.
ground is like circular.
It's like a
and-
different kind of animation.
yeah, it's
really
very
cute.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. So Luca, even though he's obsessed with this Vespa, he's like, I'm gonna get in trouble. I've been on land for way too long. My parents are gonna kill me. I have to go. Goodbye forever. I'm never coming back. And then it says 1 hour later, and he and Alberto are like, let's make a Vespa. So they're,
I like that they were
building
just
a
like
Vespa.
instantly friends.
Yes.
That was
Because
very
I have a
cute.
feeling that Luca doesn't really have any friends.
I don't think so either.
Under the surface,
I
like
think it's just
I
him
don't,
and that
I don't
little-
think he
that little
really
fish.
has any friends. It's just kind of his job or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like they were just instantly friends. Like they have like the best friendship. I
Yeah.
think it's so cute.
It's very
because
cute.
if you think about little kids, like I mean, I know they're not super young. They're probably like 7 or 8 or whatever.
Okay.
I was
don't
saying
you
closer
think?
to 10.
I was
but
thinking like 10, yeah.
But like think about Addie, like your daughter. She meets a little girl. Okay, they're instantly friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like I think that there's something so innocent about that. So I really like that they did that in
right.
this movie.
It's cool how fast kids can
Can
become
be friends. Like
yes.
okay, we're homies now.
Yeah.
Let's build a Vespa.
so
Freaking cute.
so he spends hours there hanging out out, and they're building a Vespa, and eventually Luca actually does have to go home. I think it's like nighttime now. He goes.
I think he falls asleep. No, he doesn't fall asleep.
He goes.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go.
He goes back home, and his mom is like, "Where were you? Where have you been?"
And she was there waiting, like she knew was like,
because he was way late. And I think the grandma was like, I sent him to go get some sea cucumbers.
Exactly.
And the grandma like winks at him like, I know what you up to.
Grandma is the best.
Grandma is the best.
She is covering for him
MVP.
hardcore, which is great. So
she's kind of like Moana's grandma. She's like,
yeah,
all right.
You know what? If you got to be free, you better go be free. Now I'll cover for you later. You know, don't worry about it.
Grandma knows what's up.
Grandma knows what's up. So Luca spends the next, I don't know, couple of days, couple of weeks or whatever, going to visit Alberto during the day and shirking his chores and putting up a little scarecrow.
I love that they build the over these courses of the day, they keep building the Vespa, and they're like running it down the ramp into the ocean. He's holding up the thing, and it's like the ramp, and it's like terrifying. And then eventually the turtle is holding up the ramp, and he's like, you got to get on it because this thing keeps breaking. And he's like, what?
Because they're building this Vespa out of like trash basically, just a bunch of garbage that's floating around, that whatever they can find, that they're building a Vespa, and that's a very loose term for this vehicle
box,
that they're using. But yeah, they keep
that the hanger is like the handles.
But they keep just ramping it off and into the ocean. And at first I was like, what are they doing? What are they trying to do? But like when you're a kid, that's like the
fun.
Funnest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Is just
we used to do that stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ride a bike, go
it's
off a ramp.
Dangerous, but.
And they're going right into the water, which is their home or whatever. They're super cool.
Swimming out.
Swimming out. Yes, exactly. So eventually, Luca's parents realize that
No. You got to introduce the Silencio Bruno thing. He realizes that he has to get on the Vespa
with Alberto.
Yes, because he has to hold the back.
There's not enough weight on the Vespa for it to really soar.
And he is like, no, I'm not doing that. And he's like, oh, that's just a Bruno in your head talking. He's like, what's a Bruno? He was like, I don't know, but you just got to be like, Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno. You have to quiet the Bruno that's telling you all the negative things
and
in your
I
head.
think that is so cute. Like, you could so easily incorporate that into like your own kids.
Sure.
Like, oh, that's just like your little voice talking. Silencio Bruno.
Yeah, your little anxiety.
I thought that was so clever.
Or whatever that you have.
So cute.
So
they do it together. They literally almost hit the rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The movie was almost over for a second here because these kids fall very close to these rocks in the ocean.
I think he like pushes Alberto so they like jettison other ways.
They, like, separate.
So it's super fun. They do that. Then they go back up. It's like nighttime. They're talking, and I think he was asking like, oh, like your life is so cool.
Right.
And he was like, my dad just lets me do this. And I kept thinking at this point that I didn't think his dad was dead.
Right.
I thought his dad just left him. I was like,
I thought his dad had been like harpooned.
I thought his dad just abandoned him.
I thought that his dad had turned into like an evil sea monster, something that was actually terrorizing the town, and that was going to come back later in some way. But that's not what ended up happening.
But he falls asleep there with him. Not good. He wakes up and parents are pissed.
They are very upset. So hang on a second. The parents decide to punish Luca. They're like, you're not going up to the surface anymore, okay?
So ridiculous.
You know what?
I don't want to talk about the uncle.
We called.
Luis can talk about him.
We called Uncle Hugo. He's gonna take you down to where he lives. You're gonna go stay with him for a while. Turns out that
freaked me out.
Uncle
so bad.
Hugo lives at the bottom of the ocean. He's a mer person that has like the light on top of their head, like one of those kinds
like
of
that
crazy fish
from Finding Nemo.
Yes, exactly. And the uncle is actually voiced by Sacha Baron Cohen, who you guys might know as Borat, which is really funny. And he's just like a ridiculous character.
So first
like
off, Addie and Ollie were watching this movie with me and Luis, and I mean Olivia just thought it was cool. But Adeline was like, "Oh, mommy, daddy, I don't want to watch this anymore. He's scary.
He's like showing."
Yeah, because they're translucent.
He's translucent. Yes.
Oh my gosh! What do you think, Luis? What do you think about that dude?
That guy was funny.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
He was funny, but
so it wasn't creeping you out that his heart was just beating on the. I mean, I guess all of our hearts are doing.
I think because most of some of those fishes down there, that's how they're.
That is exactly
that's how they are. So,
but
why is it going to freak me out that they're naturally like that?
Freaking me out that he kept talking about the whale carcass. He's like, "Oh, there's so much whale carcass. It just floats into your mouth." whale carcass, all you can eat. I was like, shut up, bro.
Yeah, so he lives at the bottom of the ocean where it's complete darkness. So that's what Luca's immediate future looks like, since he's like, no thanks.
That's
So-
as far from the surface as you can possibly
Right.
get.
So he runs away. He goes back up to the surface. He goes to hang out with Alberto. He's like, I can't go back down there.
Yeah, that ain't happening, brosif.
No way. No how. So he literally runs away from home and goes to hang out with Alberto.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. And
I told Andre, too, I said, that's bad parenting. They didn't even talk to his kid about why he's going to the surface or anything.
Right.
They were just like, you gone.
they also didn't realize he had a friend up there. They thought he was just going up and exploring by
It's
himself.
bad parenting. They didn't talk to him at all first.
Send your kid off to boarding school.
Right. Yeah.
Down to boarding school, I guess.
Down.
So when Luca arrives at Alberto's place, they decide that they're gonna do this thing for real and try to go get a Vespa by going into the human town. So they swim over there.
And
They-
Luca's obviously needing to silencio the Bruno.
Gotta silencio Bruno because this is causing a lot of anxiety. There's like, all I've heard my entire life is that if I go to this place, I will die. so
guy.
going to this place is very scary.
But it's so, I love the scene where they're swimming over there and they're like jumping out of the water, turning into a human and then going back in.
That was really cool.
It's really
beautiful.
cool. Very
and
fun.
also, I wish that was me. Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
this
I
is-
know I was like, oh yeah, mermaid, but like, this seems like a happy medium. I could be both.
Yeah, you could be both land and sea.
And you don't have to sell your body practically
My
for
voice,
it.
yeah.
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 You get fins and legs.
Heck
It's
yeah,
very
this
cool.
is a good happy medium. I like it.
So they get there. They immediately meet just the biggest jerk in all of Italy. His name is, what's his name?
Jerk.
Uh,
Jerk face.
Yeah, jerk face.
Well, I like
Hercule.
that.
Ercole, yes.
Ercole is a jerk, but before that, when they're walking through the town, they keep telling everybody, hey, stupido, or something.
I
Like,
heard someone say it on the boat that
Yeah.
they passed when they were coming in. So they thought that was
I
like,
think it's like a human greeting.
yeah, like, hey.
Hey, stupido. What's
the
wrong
old
with you,
lady like
stupid?
hits them with the purse
And
when
like
they get ice cream.
drops the ice cream on him or something. Quite hilarious.
It's very funny. It's very funny to see they're literally fish out of water, and they're trying to interact with humans and trying to fit in and stuff like that. And they look just like little boys. So all the adults that they do this to are kind of just passing it off. It's like, okay, those are just some dumb kids, I guess. But it's really funny to watch it all happen. So they meet Ercole or Escole?
Ercole.
Ercole. And
His little nasty mustache.
Well, hold on. So it starts because they're in the the town center, and they're just
Yes.
like trying to take everything in. Everything's so cool, and then a dude rides up on a Vespa,
And they're
it's
like, it's Mr. Vespa.
yeah, and it's like super cool looking. It's exactly what they're like dreaming of, and they're starting to like pant over it practically. And Hercules like,
So,
yeah, no, you creeps.
I noticed you noticing my Vespa. And I just
Don't
wanna
look
put
at my
you on
Vespa.
notice. Yeah, this is my Vespa.
And he has like his two henchmen.
yeah, he's
like,
the Draco Malfoy of this entire town.
Yeah.
And he
With a nasty little mustache.
with his tiny little mustache. And
Ew.
he's like an older kid. He's probably like
Dude, I think he's like
He's-
20.
he's
yeah,
like
I was
20.
thinking like in his 20s.
He's trying to be like a kid still, like needs to grow up and like go get a job, but
So the thing about this town is that annually they hold this competition,
the Porto Russo
the
Cup.
Porto Russo Cup, and
It's probably called Porto Russo then.
The town,
In
yeah.
the town.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
and so it's a triathlon of sorts where you bike down a hill. No, you
swim.
You bike the town.
yes.
You swim
You
first.
swim first, and then you have
Eat
a
a bunch of pasta.
eating competition.
Then you- then
Very
you bike
Italian.
up and down a
Then
hill.
you bike up a hill and then back down a hill, and the first one down the hill wins
Yes.
the cup. And the prize for winning the cup is a brand new Vespa, right?
No, it was money.
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 And they could buy a Vespa.
Which they are going to use
Not
Yes,
the new one,
to
though.
buy
Well, so Julia kind of,
a running
I really
Vespa.
like Julia, dude. She saves them from Mr. Ercole. He's like, get out of here. These are, I don't know, said something about underdogs got to stick together
Right.
or whatever.
So the thing about Ercole is that he's been winning this competition every year because he's older than all the kids who compete. He's just stomping them into the ground every year, I guess.
And Julia, a.k.a. Spulia, always throws up her pasta.
She's been trying to win this every year, and she just hasn't been able to because she doesn't have a team. She doesn't have any friends, and
Yeah.
it's much easier when you have a team put together.
For
Poor
sure.
girl has to eat all that pasta and then try to bike.
Right. And she doesn't have any friends here because she only lives here during the summers. She lives here with her dad, and the rest of the year she spends with her mom, and she goes to school.
Yeah, in a different city.
In a different town. And so the boys meet Julia, and they're each very taken with each other. I mean, there's some Harry Potter in here too. I mean, it's like these two are Harry and Ron, and she's Hermione, and she's going to show them the ropes and how to be a human and how to be a wizard, you know? And so they team up together to get Hercule out of their face, and she like invites them over to her house, and they meet her dad. Her dad, his name is Mosimo, and
Dude, I love the dad.
And he is the biggest, most BA fisherman in the whole town, right?
He's looking hecka scary.
He's got the thickest eyebrows
he looks
on
like
earth.
that guy. Have you ever seen the original Rudolph and the guy who has the hammer and he like licks it? Like
yes.
the mustache. He looks like him.
What's his name?
I don't remember
You
his
know what I'm
name.
talking about, right?
Yes.
He looks like him.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that guy is so funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he does it.
Off the pickaxe.
But yeah, also about Mosimo is that he's missing an arm, you know. And at first, when the kids see him, they're like, "Oh man, did you lose that in a big sea battle or something like that?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was crazy." But then he's like, "Nah, I was actually just born like this."
Yeah.
Like, guys, don't worry about it. So they.
But it makes him seem scary.
Yes, it makes him seem very scary. But also, he is kind of scary because he has kind of made it his mission to like hunt sea monsters.
Yeah.
Right. He's
like
taking
the head fisherman.
Right.
of
He's
the
taking the
town.
responsibility of being like, if a sea monster comes, let me know so I can go out there and chop that thing up. You know what I'm saying? So they're a little bit scared of all of that. But he feeds them pasta, which they eat for the first time. It's got some pesto sauce on it, and they're like losing their
There was like
minds.
spinach in it. Looked
Yeah,
delightful.
it looked really good.
Pesto ragote or something. I don't know. It looks delicious.
It looks
and I want it.
delicious.
Can I pause?
Yes.
That
Yes.
guy's name was Yukon Cornelius.
Yes.
Yukon
yes,
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
Okay.
But he looks like him, right?
A little
'Cause
bit.
The face is like small,
A little bit.
scrunched.
Yeah, it's-
Well, that's what he reminded me of.
It's a scrunched up. So it's Luca, Alberto, and Julia. They're all hanging out. They're having dinner. Luca and Alberto have realized that they just need to play it cool and not get any water on them. Otherwise, it'll be revealed that they are sea monsters and they will, be chopped up like fishies or whatever. So
what are they doing? Julia's gonna swim.
Yes.
I don't think
Alberto?
they figured that out yet, though.
I don't think they have figured it out.
Oh
yet.
yeah, she was like testing them.
I think she's kind of just still welcoming them in and
they do get water tossed on them by something right in this first scene.
in this scene. Yeah, so they have to like duck under the table real quick and then come back up and.
And
dry
I will say,
themselves
because
off.
Luis and my favorite character pops up here,
oh wait,
Machiavelli.
the cat.
Oh, the cat with the mustache. This
That cat's freaky.
cat is hilarious.
I hate cats, and this was so funny.
The cat is so funny because
Yeah.
he sees these boys and he sees them turn into sea monsters for a hot second or whatever.
He can
And
just smell the
So
fish
he's
on
just suspicious of them the entire movie, and he's always like.
His eyes are super squinty because he's looking.
He's
He's
like,
trying to see through their non-translucent bodies.
I smell something fishy in this house, and it ain't the fish that Massimo brought in, you know? So I really love the cat. He's
so cute.
He's so funny. So eventually the boys are like, well, maybe I guess it's time for us to get going. We should probably go back home somewhere. And Julia's like, do you guys need a place to stay? Because you don't have anywhere to go. And they're like, yeah. And so she lets them stay in
her treehouse.
in her treehouse, which is right out from her window or whatever. So they get to spend the night out there and sleep under the stars.
Yeah, and
which
then
is cool.
Alberto tells them that the stars are fish.
Yes.
And that the moon is the big fish.
The big fish.
It's just so cute because he has you can tell Alberto has like imagined all of this for himself because he doesn't know.
He's like, this is true. This is how my life is.
Yeah, and then he like teaches Luca about it because Luca doesn't know any different. So it's
Right.
very cute how that kind of goes back and
It's like
forth.
big brother, little brother.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Julia comes in, and as she becomes friends with both of them, Luca really gets attached to her because she actually knows what's going on in the human world and has like an astronomy book and stuff like that. And she goes to school, which he's like really impressed by. So they get kind of close, Julia and Luca. And Alberto kind of sees this and is kind of on the sidelines and is jealous of their little blooming relationship because Luca apparently is his only friend as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think from here, this is where we start learning about the Porto Rosso Cup, and they
They train.
They
And I
become a
love
team
that.
and they do a training
Okay,
montage.
so Julia's
Yes.
going to do the swimming, Alberto's going to eat the pasta, and Luca's going to do the bike.
The bike.
And I love when Julia is training him on the pasta with all different types. She's like, you don't know what type of pasta we're going to give you, okay? Got to be prepared. And I kept thinking in my head that I would swim, Andre would do the pasta,
For
and
sure.
one of you guys would do the bike for show.
Let's say Luis, because
Emily's the cheerleader.
yeah. Woohoo! I am so the cheerleader. Well,
know.
and that's super funny too because I mean, I guess Alberto's never been on a bike either, but Luca is like the one that you're like, well, he's got a Bruno though. Like,
Yeah.
do we really want him on a
know.
bike?
He's got a Bruno up that bike all the way up the hill.
And
you know,
poor
whatever.
kid has like
Hey,
no
no
really
way.
coordination, so he's like super floppy on it. It's very
Emily, you
cute.
got the strongest thighs, though. You got to get up that hill.
Truth.
okay? You go up the
Luis
hill.
can,
Luis
like,
can
get
go
it on the-
down. Yeah.
Yeah, straight off. That sounds fun.
Tag team in it.
So they sign up for the race. It turns out that they need like some money to sign up or whatever.
Hold on, can we pause here?
Yes.
Just because every time Ercole gets on the bike, Luis is like, oh, I hate
His
him.
butt, like-
Yeah, because his butt starts to shake, and I'm like, but that's how Andre does his fast walk. If you guys have never seen a video of Andre do his power walking, it's
He's
so
an Olympic power
funny.
walker.
I
Oh,
put
yeah.
it, I put it in an episode in the video
Olympic
version.
power walking.
What movie was it where they were doing the power walking and I was like, oh, I must have gotten it from here.
I don't
It might have
remember.
been The Incredibles. Did Frozen ever do that?
No. I think
I don't
it might have been a lot. Oh, it was the Fat Camp movie, Heavyweights.
Oh.
And they're doing it there. So in our Heavyweights episode, if you watch the YouTube version, there's video of me.
Yes.
doing my walk.
Anyways,
It's
or you can just
freaking-
look up Olympic power walking. That's exactly
It's-
what Andre
And,
was.
I'm doing just that.
Andre could be an Olympic power
Number one,
walker.
let's do it for America.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're signing up to get in the race. And Ercole is there, and he's strong arming everybody, and
And all the kids are like, yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll vote for you, or we'll
do
root for
whatever
you.
you say.
That scene
Ercole.
was sad.
he rules by fear because he's just bigger and stronger than all of the other kids because they're all like 10 and he's 18 or whatever. It's so ridiculous.
He's like almost 30. Come on, man. Give it up.
Freaking kid. Very annoying. Lou, did you have something?
Yep. Okay.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's time.
Dun 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 Luca battle.
All right. So on the topic of one of my kind of a favorite character, but not really, just more of his ridiculousness. But with Hercule, okay. So here's my question to you guys: if you had to spend an entire day in an IKEA
Okay.
Oh.
with one of these two characters, who would it be? Would you rather spend it with Hercule
Uh-huh.
or with the buzzhead kid from Toy Story? What's his name?
Oh,
Sid.
Sid.
Yeah, who would you rather
Oof.
spend an entire day in IKEA with?
Holy moly.
Which hold on, Louise despises IKEA. Okay, like
That's very
I've
important.
never been to IKEA.
I mean, it's a furniture store. They got everything in there, you know. And
they got the gadgets, they got the gizmos.
and all the rooms are set up.
Well, I already got my answer. and
Okay.
it's
Well,
Sid.
let me just explain. So if you don't remember Sid from Toy Story 1, he's the kid that
He
likes
destroys
to
things.
blow up
Yeah.
toys and just he's mischief personified basically.
You know why I picked
He's
Sid?
Loki.
Yeah.
Because Sid just needs a good father or mother figure. Okay, Sid going with me to IKEA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put him in place. Hercule, he's just annoying. That's just how he is, I think.
See, that's the thing that's coloring my decision,
Mm-hmm.
right? Hercule is annoying. Sid is destructive. Me and
Agreed.
Sid are getting kicked out of IKEA for sure. I'm gonna have to pay for some stuff.
Oh,
I gotta
okay.
shepherd this little crap kid around, you know. But Hercule, he's just gonna get on my nerves for 4 hours or whatever.
I can't do that.
I'm just saying Hercule has some monies.
Hercule is gonna get punched in the face at some point, but I might not get kicked out of IKEA. you
Yeah.
know?
Hercule has money. She has a good point.
I feel like I'm gonna
Quit
be
finding
getting some-
loopholes, okay? Character-wise.
Oh, it's Sid for me. But
I'm gonna say Hercule. I feel like he's less annoying than Sid because Sid would be blowing stuff up.
Yeah, he'd be
He's
finding
like,
lamps.
is this a real kitchen top? Like,
be-
let's take the knife and freaking start hacking
Yeah,
things.
he's got fireworks. He's
that
putting
might
in
be
all the
kind of
lamps
cool
and
to
stuff.
watch. I'd be like, I don't know this kid. What's happening?
I definitely would choose Hercule too.
Yes.
And in his annoyance, I think I can find a bit of humor as to how ridiculous it is.
Right.
Were you picking Urkelay, babe?
Yeah, I'm picking Urkelay.
Oh, okay. Just me with Sid.
We have some quite annoying family members that I think later on I can do a good laugh about. I don't know how much I'd be laughing with Sid.
Um,
Well, what a maternal choice,
Yeah.
Michelle. That
I'm
was
taking
so
Sid.
It's
nice.
gonna set that kid straight. I don't think it's gonna work at all, but
I'm gonna try.
good for you for trying.
She's gonna do scared straight
Yeah,
with Sid.
Scared straight in IKEA.
Yeah.
You want some of these meatballs, kid? You better straighten out.
I'll bring a belt with me.
They got
Dang!
meatballs in
Corporal
IKEA?
punishment.
Yeah, they have like a tiny little cafe, and I think the only food item they sell there is like meatballs.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
What
pretty.
the-
I haven't been to
Urkelay
IKEA
might like
in
that.
a while, but that's what I remember.
Urkelay would dig those meatballs.
I cometh for the meatballs.
Are they a spicy?
Meatballs.
Spicy
Are they a
meatballs?
Spicy meatballs.
So okay, all right. Urkelay is the winner, I guess here, but Sid comes in a small second.
I played devil's advocate this time.
Dun 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 dun. Annoying kids.
Annoying kids.
Apparently, there are meatballs at IKEA. You're so weird.
This is the massive amounts of
Spicy
knowledge that I have in my brains,
meatball.
and it's about what they serve at IKEA. So in the movie, Luca's parents have gotten hip to the fact that he's
It's because it's Swedish food, apparently.
yes, and they're Swedish meatballs. That's it.
There you go.
And
That-
IKEA's
now you have all the info,
IKEA is a
people.
Swedish store. So Luca's parents have realized that he has run away and is not coming back anytime soon. So they head to the surface themselves to find their son. It's the Finding Nemo portion of this movie.
For sure.
So but they're so ridiculous, the both of them together. So they go up to the surface. They turn into humans.
And they're beautiful humans.
and
So
they-
funny.
They're hilarious. The way that they look is perfect.
The nose on the mom.
The mustache on the dad. But they're very surprised and scared of their own human versions of themselves, and
They're like, ooh, we're so disgusting.
exactly. So they go out on a mission to find Luca, but they realize that they don't know what he looks like as a human. So every kid they're like accosting and
So freaking
trying
funny.
to see
Like
if
threw the
they're-
one kid in
they're
the
his
water
son.
with the ice cream.
Yeah,
He's all crying.
I know you're Luca. You can't hide from us anymore. You're coming back home. Watch this. He pushes the kid in the water.
It's just like, hurry before his human mom comes.
It's
so bad.
It's so funny. I really like the little side story of the parents searching for him. So throughout the rest of the movie, they're there in the background trying to accost kids and find out if they're
The dad
Luca.
just cracks me up because, okay, so Andre and I went to Italy in a couple years ago for our anniversary or whatever.
on a cruise.
We went on a cruise. And we were just saying, when we were in Italy, we were in a coastal town like this. Do you remember what it was called, babe? We were trying to figure it out.
I don't remember.
Crap. We were in a coastal town like this, okay? And it's very rocky, like the shore, like how this was or whatever. But there was just the most Italian dudes you've ever seen on the rocks, hanging out, and their entire body is just red.
Just
Like,
suntanned.
just suntanned so much that they look red and leathery or whatever, and they're big,
From
right?
dawn to dusk, these dudes be
Yes,
tanning.
out there. And the dad's body type in this literally exactly resembled
That's so
one of
funny.
those dudes I
All
saw on
those
the
Italian
rocks where
men
I
out
was
there.
like, they did a good job.
Yeah, that
like,
we-
Well, and it's funny
that
because
looked
the
exactly like
people
the
are either
Italians.
stocky or
Very.
super lanky.
Yes,
Right.
Yes. And this was definitely one of the stocky ones. And they were just out there on the rocks, just chilling in the sun, red as red and leathery could be.
I think we were in Naples when
Naples,
when
yeah,
we
we
saw
were in
this.
Naples.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
and it was a coastal town like this. So it was,
yeah,
it was
right
fun
on the
to see.
water, and everybody's just out there having a good time playing
Having a
soccer
good
and-
time, yeah.
and getting burnt.
Yeah, playing soccer and getting burnt. That's about right.
So yeah, it's very very reminiscent of that in this movie. So all that's happening. While they're training for the Porto Rosso, Alberto starts to get really jealous of Luca and Julia.
Yeah.
He starts like fighting with Luca about it. He's like, bro, you and me are friends. You know, we can't just be hanging out with this girl all the time. And you can't go to school. You got to hang out with me. We got to get our Vespa and get out of here and go off where we want to go. And Luca's like, well, I mean,
He wants to ride across the world, which is so
right.
cute.
Right across the world. And Luca's like, I mean, actually, school seems like pretty interesting, and I love learning, and I would really like to know more about the human world, and maybe go to school with Julia at some point. That sounds
He
cool.
wants to be where the people
Wants to be where the people are, man.
So I'm
to
gonna
ask him
make
some questions.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make a side note here.
Fire,
everything.
okay.
So I've been telling Andre for a while that I think
You're a mermaid?
Pixar. No. I think
Yeah, sure, I've
Pixar
been
is
saying that
gonna
too.
be one of the first movie companies for Disney. Like I think Pixar will do it before Disney Animation, where a LGBTQ plus couple is gonna be in a movie.
Okay.
So I
Probably.
kept thinking, is this where they're going with this? Because I felt like it was like a jealous little love triangle.
Sure.
And I was like, they could go this way with this, where Alberto is getting jealous because he likes
'Cause he
Luca.
has feelings for
And
Luca.
I realized now it's trying to be like a friend thing, like, you know. But I kept at first. Like in this moment where the jealousy really started happening, I was like, "Is this where we're gonna go with this?"
Right.
And
What was
they could have gone that route.
I want to pause you because I thought similarly. What is the other movie where you guys said
It
that
was Raya.
okay?
It's Raya.
So I would like to bring it back to that for just a second
Okay.
because I got zero vibes in Raya. Like
Yeah.
I didn't.
Right.
It did
But
not.
I got a lot.
And it didn't cross my mind. But in this one, I thought the same thing. Like it could very easily go that way,
Right.
just because of the way the story was going.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you put it in friend terms, it makes sense. Neither of them have any friends, so poor kids
Right.
literally are just
They're
grasping
jealous,
on.
but they could have gone that way. And
Yeah.
I wonder if this is Pixar or Disney Animation's way of kind of testing the waters a little bit.
See-
like, we're going to give you those vibes a little bit, but we're not going to do it, and we want to see how people react. Because for Raya, people were definitely reacting to that.
Sure.
And I heard a couple people were reacting to Luca that way similarly, like, oh, they could have gone that way. I really ship their relationship. Their relationship could have been more than a friendship
Sure.
if they were a little bit older or
Sure,
whatever.
sure, absolutely.
You know, so...
And yeah, I felt that a tiny bit in
and Pixar's
watching
done
Luca.
that in their shorts. They have plenty of gay coming out stories
Right.
and things in their shorts, you know. But I'm just wondering when it's going to happen in a movie.
In a movie.
That's a little side note.
For
I think
sure.
it's going to come soon, though.
For sure.
For sure.
But yeah, I think. Excuse
And
me.
if you out here homophobic, then just stop listening.
Right,
Don't
yeah.
get out of our comments.
Yeah, you
Sorry
can't,
about it.
You can't handle the cutest little characters being gay in a movie. Like, just
Whatever.
chill out. But like, it's interesting because I think the way that Disney is going about their LGBT representation throughout their movies is like has been like pretty tepid for the most part. You know, they
But their shorts, there was that whole coming out story.
Sure. But I'm saying for movies specifically
yeah.
that there has been a lot of these cases where like, is this, could it, maybe, I don't know, are they not? We don't know because they're not being definitive about it.
Yes.
And apparently that is because of their foreign markets, right? So in big places where they show movies like China and Russia and maybe even Japan, it's a little less as accepted, the LGBT stuff, so they don't put it full force into their movies so that they can appease that side of the world and still make money off these movies. They don't want
It's more of a marketing.
it's
ploy.
Luca, the first gay couple in Pixar,
They
and
could have easily.
put that out there, and then nobody in China or Russia go to see it. I think that's what's money is driving those types of decisions.
Well, I don't like that.
Are you guys fishing for that to appear in the movies? Because I did not get a single one of those.
No.
vibes.
No, I'm not fishing for it, but I think now that
Are you fishing for it?
LGBTQ and stuff is more accepted, maybe I'm fishing for it a little bit, but I just keep thinking it might happen soon.
Right.
Oh yeah, I think it will too. But like in this respect with them, I didn't get any of that because I
But
look
you
at it.
It could.
I look at it as a young.
They didn't go that way, but I'm saying they could have, if they had wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much say that with just about any other movie. though.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think now that I'm just in this more modern era, I would like for them to do it, and so maybe that's why I'm fishing for it a little bit more.
But
yeah,
same Lou. I mean, I was watching this and I wasn't really getting that vibe.
I wasn't.
I'm just thinking about that. Yeah,
little
that'd be
bit I
me
did.
and my boy growing up in Italy doing some stuff. You know, some crazy
the
stuff.
homies, and you know there wasn't even any real romance between like Luca and Julia in this.
No,
You know that
not
that
at all.
it was friendship all
of
the
it.
way
All
through.
of it was friendship, but I'm just saying with the jealousy thing, and they could have. That's my only comment.
Absolutely.
I got a feeling if they do end up hitting that topic,
It'll probably be
it'd
with
be a little bit,
teenagers,
yes,
you know?
or
That's
older.
what I'm saying. If they were a little bit older, I think they would have done it. you
So I
know?
just have to say, I looked it up online while we were talking, and I'm so freaking names of the articles are killing me.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, Business Insider. Luca proves Disney's Pixar wasn't brave enough to fully commit to their first queer animated film. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. BuzzFeed. I'm sorry, but Luca is totally a gay movie, and here's 18 tweets to prove it.
Okay.
Okay, freaking love BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Decider. Does Disney's Luca have a gay character? Screen Rant. Why Luca is a gay story despite what Pixar says?
Yeah. So
Explaining how gay is Pixar.
I follow a lot of Disney accounts, and one specifically that I follow, he's gay, and he saw this movie at what's that theater in Hollywood where you can go?
the
Chinese theater?
The man's Chinese
The
theater.
Chinese
It's not the
music?
Chinese theater.
Oh, well, then there's a gajillion theaters in
It's,
Hollywood. I don't know.
There's like
There's
80.
El Capitan.
Oh, the El Capitan.
He
Yeah,
saw it
okay.
at El Capitan, and he was like, he was tweeting like, well, he was like squealing because I ship Luca and Alberto, and he was like, I know that they didn't come out as gay, but he was like, oh my gosh, their friendship was the absolute best.
Right, and in
I
his
think, if
mind, I'm sure they
anything,
are.
I think
you know.
sometimes we raise little boys to not show their emotions and things like that, and it was really good to see that Alberto actually was getting jealous and had some feelings for his friend and emotions,
Right.
like he
Versus just being, like,
he
broed
likes his
about it.
friend.
Exactly.
He's like, you're my friend,
Right.
and
And he's scared
this is
that
what
he's gonna
happened to
lose
my
him.
dad, and so
Yes.
I really liked that.
There's a fear
like,
of
we
abandonment.
need to show that a lot more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I mean, we in here particularly, I don't think we were really fishing for it, but the
I'm just
want
saying
is
it
definitely
could've
out
been.
there by those
For
articles.
sure.
You know, the want for that type of representation
think-
is there.
I think it's the right era where Disney could come out with this,
Yeah.
and they might get a little backlash from some people, but so what?
And I think that's why I was feeling it a little bit more in Raya, because
Raya, I was.
even though it started where she's a little girl and it could just be about the friendship thing, by the end of that movie she is basically an adult. So they
could have done it.
have given her a relationship of,
Yeah.
of
Here's
some kind.
here's one. Speaking of the tweets, here's one that I actually like. This is where I feel for just the whole movement. It says, "Well, just saw Luca, and can you even imagine having grown up with this movie versus being an adult having watched it?" Whew. So
Yeah.
it's like, you can see at this point where, I mean, how many times have we talked about it? Little Asian kids, little black kids, little any person,
Yeah.
like, I want someone who represents me,
Looks like me.
who is like me. And I can see where that would be the same thing here,
Why do you think when Princess and the Frog came out, it was like amazing?
Right.
You know,
It was
you get a black
revolutionary.
princess. Come on.
I mean, I was 18 when that movie came out, and I watched it dozens of times. Just
Oh, yeah.
because, like, there's a black Disney character, dude. This is crazy.
A kiss would be nice.
Yeah.
Again,
And shut up, you didn't even like him.
Louise.
You liked Dr. Facilier. Andre just wanted a black villain of it.
The cause.
Listen, Dr. Facilier is legit. But I'm just saying, Disney in the next 5 years, I would expect it to happen.
Oh,
Pixar more likely, but I
Pixar
agree.
more likely, yes, but I want it to happen.
or in the MCU or in Star Wars.
Oh,
you know,
for
it-
sure.
It might happen in one
What
of those
episode
too.
of Loki are you on?
Loki.
on the
One.
first one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep going, I guess. So anyway, yeah, that's the LGBT portion of the show.
Hey, like Emily said, if you're homophobic, you can stop listening.
You
kick
can
rocks,
back
homie.
on up.
Get out of my comments.
Okay, so at this point in the movie, Luca and Alberto are having a real legit fight, right? His jealousy has reached its peak. They go down by the water,
Oh,
and
gosh. Oh,
and
the scene. I
Alberto
can't.
just starts like chewing Luca out, and while it's happening, while they're fighting, Ercole and his little minions show up, and
You mean Malfoy?
Yeah, Malfoy,
This was the
Crab, and Goyle.
This
all-
was the Shrieking Shack moment, okay?
they all arrive, and Luca
Luke,
and Alberto, right? They're fighting.
Yeah, and
Julia
Alberto-
is there as well.
yes, is trying to tell them why they could never stay in this town and stuff like this. And he's like, you know why we can't stay in here? Fine, I'll show you.
So
and,
he jumps
and
into the water.
transforms right in front of Julia.
Yes, and so Julia sees that he is a sea monster.
And she kind of freaks out a little.
She freaks out a little bit, but she's like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense." And then Ercole and his homies, his cronies show up, and they go, "Oh, sea monster! Sea monster! There's a sea monster right there
And
in the
I
water."
don't remember what
Hold
Luca
on.
says, but something
Didn't
like...
Luca
So-
dump him in?
So Luca didn't push him or
No,
anything
he
like
didn't
that,
push him.
but he refuses to reveal himself.
He
at
was like,
this point.
he is a monster,
Yeah, he's
or
like,
something.
or he just doesn't say anything. I
No,
think.
he says.
he
like,
says
he
something.
says something like, "You're a monster," and
He
you and I both
basically,
went, "Oh."
He
threw him under
denies
the bus.
him.
Yes,
he threw him under the
denies.
bus.
He throws him under the bus.
Yeah.
So
It was
Alberto
rude.
swims away.
That was rough,
and
man.
then,
That was rough.
And then Ercole and his little minions, they
Poor, what's his name, was probably like dead inside.
Oh yeah, Alberto, I'm sure was devastated.
You could tell by his face that he
Luca
was.
and Julia, they start talking, and then Luca does reveal to her that he is also a sea monster, right? And she's perfectly okay
she's
with it.
okay.
She's like this is actually pretty cool, and it makes sense that you guys were always trying to avoid water and stuff like that.
But she's also like, but you can't be here.
Right.
She's
You're
like,
gonna have to get
I know
gone.
you're my friend, but like, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
Like,
But
you
she
are
was
gonna
like
get-
diplomatic about it. She wasn't
She
like,
was like,
get out of here.
I kind of want to make sure my dad doesn't kill you guys because he will.
No, she was like, you need to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
This is she basically is like, you're doing a dumb thing. Like, this is dangerous.
Right.
Like, you need to go.
so Luca leaves.
All for a Vespa.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, you just.
Yeah,
want a
she did
Vespa.
not think that was like
That was
worthy
the,
of
the
it.
smartest thing in the world. So Luca leaves. He goes. He heads back to their little secret hideaway island that they originally started out on. And he's looking for Alberto. He doesn't see him there at first. He's looking around the whole place, and eventually Alberto, he's like sitting up on the roof, and he's like, "Oh, so you decided to show up, huh?"
It was
Whatever.
so sad.
He was.
It broke my heart.
He's very upset.
Because I understand why Luca did it. He didn't want to lose what he had already created.
Right.
But then he had to hurt his friend at the same time.
Exactly. So-
it was pulled at my heartstrings.
So Luca tries to apologize to Alberto, but Alberto's like not having it at this point. He's like, you know what?
Same.
I don't want anything to do with
Same
you.
Alberto's
Yeah.
was rough.
I kind of agree with Alberto. You can't do me dirty like that, man. You know. So Luca he leaves and he goes back to the town because he's going to participate in the race regardless.
yeah,
because
he's like, I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to go get that Vespa and we're going to go.
We're gonna
And
go. We're
Alberto
gonna
is
do
like,
it.
stop it. Like, we're not.
No, you're not.
And he goes.
He goes. So he.
And Julia is like, what are you doing here?
So Julia has switched back to her one woman team at the Porto Rosso race because the race is beginning, and Lucas
joins
shows
too.
up. He decides that he's not going to swim because that would reveal himself. He gets in the diving suit that we saw at the beginning of
And,
the
like,
movie,
walks on
and
the
he
bottom
just
of the
walks
water.
underwater.
Dude, okay, but this was the funniest thing is when Ercole pours all the olive oil
Oh
on
my
his
God.
friend.
On Chichita. What is his name?
Chichio.
He pours all the olive oil. He's like, you be slick like a dolphin. Like, and I was like, what is going on?
Luis, did you love Chichio?
Yes.
I love him. I don't think he ever said a single word.
Who
I think
played him
he
again,
did say a
remember?
couple words because he's played by Peter Sohn, who played Russell in Up.
Yeah.
I've got lots of fun stuffs.
Easter
Pixar
eggs?
Easter eggs.
Oh
Okay,
my
good.
I
god!
didn't
You know
see any.
Easter eggs are fun.
I wasn't
They're
paying
out there.
attention, so.
I saw a couple. I saw one that wasn't a Pixar Easter egg. I saw Donald Duck in.
Oh
in
yeah, there
Julia's
was
room, I think.
multiple. There was multiple
Yeah,
Donald.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't looking for it this time.
It's like
watching
a stuffed animal Donald Duck, which is
Nice.
cool, and he's got his little sailor outfit on.
Yeah, he's very cool.
We'll get into that.
So they're doing the race. Luca, he's under the water. The diving suit kind of cracks, so he begins transforming while he's inside the suit. He gets back up to the
And the
surface.
fishies are eating the dude with the olive oil.
Yeah, they're all over him.
They're
He's
like,
he's like drowning in the water, and nobody's helping him for some reason. It's very funny.
He's
so-
very tasty though.
I
It's
know.
probably extra virgin olive oil.
Delicious, yes.
That's not expensive.
Yes, it is.
Salty Chichio. So.
Get some red, homie.
So they move on to phase 2 of the race, which is the pasta eating contest.
Yeah.
Luca drives off and is able to show his face there. She's stuffing down pasta as fast as humanly possible, which
She
is
also
doesn't
looks
sit with her.
delightful.
Which is
I
going to
think
be her
that girl's
downfall.
got a gluten allergy. Like, she's like burping and stuff. Like,
that makes so much sense, Michelle. Oh my god. So they're eating pasta, and Julia finishes up
does.
because she's super fast at eating pasta, and it starts her ascent up the hill on a bike.
yeah, she ain't having it though.
Luca eventually finishes his, and he goes up there too. He's kind of towards the back of the race at this point. I
He
think.
been training.
But he's been training hard, so he starts passing fools on the track as they go up the windy streets of Italy. And as they're getting close to the top, it starts to rain, which is not good for
good at
Luca.
all.
So he's getting hit by raindrops, and he's trying to dodge. Does he have like a little jacket or something that he puts over his head?
No, he goes under the.
Like under
Like
a
He goes under like
awning or
awnings and stuff
something.
like that.
And
That's
he's
right.
just there, and he's like, "What am I gonna do? What am I gonna
Yes.
do?" And who shows up?
Well, before he shows up, his parents are there. They finally have found Luca and seen that he's doing this race, and they're like, "Luca, you gotta come home. You gotta come home." He's like, "Get out of my way, mom and dad. I'm in the middle of a race." So he gets up to the top of the hill, and who shows up but Alberto.
Oh,
But
with
it's
his
so sweet because all you
umbrella.
see is the umbrella coming up the little side of the hill.
Yeah, it
And
was so sweet.
He comes with the umbrella to help save his friend, and it's yes, you're right. It's very
and
sweet.
he gives him the umbrella. I think he trips or something.
Yes, he trips and falls and is revealed to be a sea monster, right? And so Luca, not going to repeat the same mistake that he did last time. He reveals himself as well. They both hop on the bike together and race down the
heck
hill.
outta here.
But Urkele and his cronies are right on their
Because
tail.
what's his name? Were chasing him.
Yeah, they were
So
chasing
he's
him.
like, I'm gonna go save my homie.
Exactly. So
Here comes Chichito and
and Guido. Chicho and Guido, yeah.
you mean Panchito and what's the other one?
I don't remember.
Jose.
Wait, so is this the second Guido character name in
Yeah, isn't Guido
Disney?
in Cars?
Yeah, Guido. He's Italian.
favorite
oh
one.
Oh my God! You know what would be really funny is
Oh, I
if,
guess
like,
that there are Italian. Well, that wasn't set in
Yeah,
Italy.
exactly.
Oh, those are common Italian names. Okay.
But what
Guido?
if
I had an
I
uncle
mean,
Guido.
I don't know if this fits into like that weird Pixar theory that we wrote at one point, but what if like this little Guido grows into the car?
Isn't Guido a
Guido.
Vespa? Isn't he a Vespa?
No,
He's not a Vespa. He's like,
Guido's like the one that he's like the
he's
little
like
car
the-
jack thing.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Oh.
like the not the tractor.
Yeah,
what is
you're
it?
right. You're right.
The forklift. He's a
Yeah.
forklift.
That'd be cool if he was a Vespa.
Car jack. That's what I said.
Forklift.
Anyway, so yeah, they're
He
getting
grows up into a car.
Into a car. I don't
you know.
know.
What? Go home. That's ridiculous. This
Any-
little tiny
anything is
guy.
possible. Okay, these fish people are turning into people. All right.
Some
Fish
weird
people
Pixar
turning into
magic.
cars.
Yeah. It
Okay,
can
anyways,
all happen.
continue.
So they're racing down the hill, right? Urkele is hot on their tail, their literal tails because they're out because it's
They
raining.
have like a spear. He's trying to spear.
Yeah,
these
he's
fools.
trying to harpoon them from the bike, which is honestly pretty impressive. But once again, this kid is like 25 years
20-something.
old or whatever, so I guess it's not that impressive that he can't hit these 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
But they race down the hill, and as they get to the bottom, they technically win the race, right? They
fall off
They
the
reach the
bike.
bottom, fall off the bike. And their bike passes the finish line, and the whole town center crowds around them and is like, "Oh snap! It's a sea monster! It's a sea
Get him,
monster! It's a
get
sea
him. And
monster!
they
Get him!"
look at just what's his name?
Julia.
No, who's
Oh.
the dad's name?
Oh, Massimo.
Massimo. They look at Massimo like, get him.
But Massimo,
He's like, I know who.
he
they
knows
are.
who they are. He gets that it's Alberto and Luca.
Let's be real.
His favorite new
Massimo-
sons.
These are my kids.
MVP.
Yeah, Massimo. You know, we kind of didn't mention
I
it, but
think
but he's been
he's
raising
kinda-
them this whole time, this whole summer that
Yeah.
they've been hanging out
He
at his
just takes
house.
them in. What a good dad.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He sees that they don't have like any
They
family
don't
or
even
friends.
have any money to feed these kids, and
I
he's
know.
like, okay.
Yeah, he's a top fisherman, man. He's got a little bit in the bank.
Well, once he helps him find the fish,
Yes.
yeah.
So-
then you're-
Oh, I know. He
That's right.
employs
Alberto and
Alberto
Luca.
to get out there and do some.
and some fish finding.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Oh, which he's good at.
yes,
Yeah,
because he
they were in the
knows.
fish graveyard.
Yeah,
remember?
they know where all the fish are.
Yes.
So the whole town is confronting them, and Massimo and Julia are like, "No, this is not happening. These two sea monsters are cool. You guys back off and chill." And everybody's like, "Oh, okay." And then
Well, because they look at Massimo and he's like, back off.
right, that's
and
what,
they're like,
that's what I'm saying. And so because Massimo stands up for them, a couple other sea monster people in the
Reveal
town
themselves.
reveal themselves.
AKA the two grandmas that
There's-
hit him in
there's
the
a
head.
couple
with the ice
grandmas.
cream.
I don't think Luca's actual grandma is there at this point, but you know.
But his parents
But
revealed
yes,
themselves.
and the
then they
parents-
were like, wow, they're a family. I think seeing that kind of made them like, oh,
Right.
okay.
So the sea monsters have been infiltrating this town this entire time, which is very interesting because once again the town is littered in like anti-sea monster propaganda. Basically,
Which is so.
it's
right
like
when they get on
harpoons
that,
all
it's
over
like,
the place.
oh my god.
Hiding in the shadows.
Hiding in the shadows. It's crazy. But since they're able to reveal themselves here, the whole town is kind of like, all right, well, I guess we've changed our minds. We don't really hate
They
them for
seem
who they are.
harmless, yeah.
They seem harmless, and they are. So they get to win the race and be sea monsters in
get
in
the
town.
Vespa.
And get their Vespa.
The
Yes.
janky Vespa.
Well, they get their money for their janky
But they bought the Vespa. Yeah.
Yes. So because of all this, what happens to Urkele? Did they end up running him out of town or something like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his friends are like, nuh-uh.
Right,
We ain't listening
we're
to
not
you.
hanging out with
no
you anymore.
more.
Yeah, they're like-
And she was like, the reign of terror has ended.
Justice has come, which is cool.
Yeah, because Julia just wanted the satisfaction. She didn't care about the
Right.
money.
She just wanted the underdogs
Yeah.
to
she
win.
just wanted to beat him.
Exactly.
And she did.
And she did. So they decide to stay in town with Julia and Massimo.
They
but
want to have a party, get some pasta.
exactly. But Julia is leaving. The summer is over, so she's gonna go back home to her mom and go to school. And everybody's sad about this for a plethora of reasons. But Luca, in particular, he's like, man, I really wish I could have gone with her.
He wants to go to school. He wants to learn.
He wants to learn. He wants to go to school. So Alberto, unbeknownst to Luca, he sells the Vespa and gives Luca the money so that he can go to school
and go to school and stay with Julia. Literally, I was tearing up so bad. Like, what?
It's the cutest thing ever.
And it keeps getting better.
I know.
It doesn't stop there.
It doesn't stop there. And Luca's like, well, what about you? And he's like, well,
Massimo
needs me, and he asked me to stay here. I'm like, he's your new dad.
Yeah, he's got a new dad, Massimo.
And he's trying to play it off like, oh, he needs me, Oh.
That's the really funny thing about Alberto is that he's got this like faux cockiness that he has to have, right? Because his dad left him or whatever, and it's like his coping mechanism. But it's really funny to watch him like drop that wall a little bit and go like, hey, well, Massimo said he needs me, but
he hired me.
So I guess I'll stick around for him for his sake or whatever. It's very cute.
It's his coping mechanism. You know what I mean? But it's so cute.
And
also then Massimo's not alone. Like, he only gets to see his daughter in the summer.
Exactly.
Now he has another kid to take care of.
Another kid to take care of, and now Luca gets to hang out with Julia. So literally, the end of this movie, I mean, Luca hops on a train to Hogwarts. It's like they hop on the train and they ride off into the sunset.
They go straight to Scotland.
Yes, exactly. It's very cute. And then the ending credits splashes is showing him and Julia learning at school, and Alberto hanging out with Massimo, and the parents going up to the surface every once in a while and not being
and they go and they hang out with Massimo and Alberto, with I think is so cute.
Yeah, it's a good movie. And then the post-credit scene in this movie is
what the heck?
Is Uncle Hugo down at the bottom of the ocean
with Giuseppe.
Giuseppe
got wandered to the bottom of the ocean.
I don't know what happened to Giuseppe, but he's down here now, and he's like, here's the thing about what you have to know about down under the sea. There's whale carcass everywhere. And it's so
just
stupid.
Open your mouth and it floats in.
Freaking freaky, man. But that was a good ending scene.
Yeah, so that's the end of Luca.
Dude, it was so good.
Quite a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I want to watch it again, actually. Like, after we were talking about it, it's making me like it more. I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Don't you love that, though? Because I feel like in so many episodes we've had movies where you weren't super fond of it or whatever, but then the more you talk about it, you're like, oh, no. Now I just don't like it.
Yeah. Or the opposite, where I liked it, and then I talk about it, I'm like, oh, that was good.
Yeah, no,
like,
this is definitely one where you keep
guys
liking
should definitely watch the little 12-minute doc.
Sure, we will.
It made me appreciate it a lot more, too.
Yeah.
Just like what goes into making a movie is so intense.
So this is the third movie to come out for the third Pixar movie to come out for free on Disney Plus since Disney Plus has existed.
Era.
Onward.
Although Onward did come out.
So Onward came out in theaters, but
only for like 2 weeks.
Right, and then it got shunted over to Disney Plus, and then Soul came out, and now Luca. And I think
this was the best.
I think Luca is the best of those three. I
liked
my
Onward,
opinion.
but I had too high of expectations with the magic stuff.
Sure.
And then Soul was good, but it was so serious. Very serious.
It was existential. It was a thinker.
It was like an existential.
I think Soul was one of my least favorite Pixar movies.
Like I was telling Andre, I was like, Soul didn't need to be so serious. Like, think about Inside Out. That had a lot of serious concepts, but it was still very fun.
Right.
Or WALL-E. That's pretty serious, but it's still very fun. Soul just felt very serious to me, where I was like, whew.
I think it's probably because like both main characters are kind of dour almost the entire time, and they're dead technically, So I mean, we
wanted more.
It just didn't bring a ton of
one,
lightness.
I went in with just pretty low expectations, like, okay, this is just going to be a cute movie, but I really liked it and enjoyed it, and it was a very nice change of pace for a Pixar movie, considering the last two. It's not that I didn't like them, I did, but Onward was better, but I needed more from it. But this one, it was perfect. It hit the mark for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I have got
Easter eggs.
Oh yeah,
Easter
give me
eggs.
Those Easter eggs.
So I'm gonna do my best to explain all of these, but I do have pictures associated with all of them, so I can post them, and Andre can put them in the meeting notes.
I wasn't looking for
the meeting notes.
I forgot until after the movie. I was like, oh no, I didn't look at for any Easter eggs.
I think I saw like maybe 4 of the ones I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
But again, I wasn't looking for them. It just popped out and was like,
Can we start with where's the truck? Is there?
I have a huge list.
Okay,
Can we go
let's
through
go
the
on your
list?
Let's go through the list.
Okay. So not the first boat we see, like right in the beginning, but when Luca and Alberto are like swimming from the island into
town,
they're spotted for just a second underwater, and the boat that they're on has a Mexican flag on it, and it says Elena on the side. And Elena was Miguel's abuelita. Mama Coco. Her first name was Elena.
This movie reminded me of Coco a little bit.
A little bit.
Just because of like it's in a different culture, like that's the setting, and then there's a fantastical element to it, and it revolves around a young boy, and it's simple. And since this is the best one since those other couple of Pixar movies have come out, it was directly relating to Coco for me for a lot of the way through.
Right.
Anyway.
So I thought that was a cool one because that's one that I don't think most people would notice.
I thought maybe you were talking about Elena of Avalor or something.
Oh, no.
Is that Elena? I get it.
Well, because she's not actually in Mexico.
No, she's not.
She's in like
wherever
Avalor
is.
Oh, it's like a mythological place.
Gotcha.
So and everyone saw this one when Julia's teaching Luca about everything. She's going through storybooks and stuff, and Pinocchio pops up, which we all saw, which was really cute.
That made sense to me too because it's an Italian story.
Sure. So it pops up and they do their little dance and stuff, but it was cute because they had what was the guy's name? Honest John was on one side, but then the other character looks like Machiavelli, the cat.
Right.
So that was a cute little like both of them. And then Andre was correct. Donald Duck is on the floor in Julia's room during that similar type of sequence. And then during one of the races uphill, the Luxo ball is on a rooftop off to the corner. So cool. It kind of just looks not like trash, but it's just like off in the corner. It's not super prevalent. The Pizza Planet truck, they did a really masterful job with this one.
Okay.
It was a Vespa that was like had a bulbous shape with the with the little rocket on top, so that it looked like it looks like the Pizza Planet truck.
And you know what's great about that is that it's Italy, and that little Vespa could definitely be delivering pizza in
right?
Town.
For sure.
I just find that hilarious.
Which is great.
Luis will love this one. In the town square, I think it was when, right as Ercole was coming up, as they were getting ready to sign up for the race, you see like a pan of the whole town center, and there is a poster on the wall for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I mean, we saw the big suit, but it also, I mean, it directly translates.
It translates, yeah, for sure.
And then on that same wall, there's another poster, and that one is for La Strada, and that film was by Federico Fellini, and apparently the movie. That movie and the filmmaker directly influenced the thematic elements of Luca. So it was like
that's their Italian.
Sure, that was their influence and their inspiration
from 1954.
And then that whole concept from that movie was from like a town called Porto Rosso, and so they were saying that that's very similar as to the name. And then I don't know much about Studio Ghibli, so you're going to be much more in the know with this. Obviously, people are interested in The Little Mermaid because it's like sea creatures and stuff.
Right.
But apparently, Studio Ghibli made a movie called
Ponyo.
Yes. Thank you. And there's a lot of similar magical world building.
It's very similar. I want Michelle to watch it because
I actually do want to watch Ponyo.
That's the one that you'll like because it basically is Japanese The Little Mermaid, honestly. But with like there's a whole way more weird, crazy sci-fi elements to it, but the base story is like very cute, and it's about this little fish girl that gets to go to human land and be discovered and have a friend and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so there you go.
Might be up my alley.
There's a lot of similarities there.
Yes.
So these are some of the more like ones
Obvious.
that we know. A113 was on Luca's ticket when he's going to Genova.
Okay.
So when he hands him over the ticket, it's A113.
Perfect. I like
and
that.
then the train departing from the station is train number 94608, which is the area code for Emeryville,
Yeah,
where
they usually put that in there
Pixar
somewhere.
Studios is.
That's cool.
And then in the credit scene, Donald Duck is also on a shelf. Like it's the scene of Julia's bedroom, but instead of him being on the floor, he's up on a shelf. And then this is what I'm saying is an Easter egg. I don't remember who it is. I think it's the cats in the movie. There's 2 cats eating spaghetti, and it looks just like Lady and the Tramp.
Oh,
It's super cute.
that's hilarious.
So I'm calling that an Easter egg. And then there's one.
There's another Italian movie. Wait,
no, that's in.
it's in France, huh?
No, it's in Britain, isn't it? Wait.
It's not in Italy. It's just the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
I thought it was in France.
France. I think it's France.
I'll look it up. Continue.
This other one was in
Continue.
Louisiana, I
I
think.
think it's France.
But did we do the live action?
We did.
Yes,
okay.
we did.
Anywho, and then Julieta is like drawing in one part or painting, and she's like painting a Mickey Mouse head.
Yes, that I saw.
Yeah.
Oh,
That one I saw.
I think I missed that one. It says Lady and the Tramp is a quaint Midwestern town. Yep.
Well, we don't know much, do we?
Marceline, Missouri, it says.
Marceline. Okay, that sounds French.
Well,
Marceline
is where
yeah,
Walt Disney's
Disney's
from.
Oh, that
Well,
makes
what
a lot
the
of sense.
heck?
Okay. Well,
I definitely thought it was
We
in France.
didn't even talk about that when we did that movie.
yeah,
okay.
I guess we didn't talk about the
So
set.
you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
For us
Well,
to be
anyways,
in the
let's
light.
see. Did this movie come out in the theaters, babe, or was it only Disney Plus? We were trying to figure this out the other day.
believe this movie only came out on Disney Plus.
And
Hang on
how did that
one
person
second.
I follow see it at the El Capitan? It
Well,
must have
okay.
been like a special
so
showing.
yeah, maybe they had some special showings.
Let's be real. People are real fancy out here and getting invited to fancy things.
I
Go to the El Capitan?
I showed that it had a box office.
You know that's the name of Luis's school that he teaches at?
Really?
Really?
El
Oh,
Capitan.
El Capitan.
High school.
Let me just read this. It's pretty short. Luca was originally set to be theatrically released in the United States on June 18th. However, on March 23rd, it got canceled or whatever. It instead streamed worldwide on Disney Plus in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The film also played a 1-week theatrical engagement at Hollywood's El Capitan Theater
Okay,
from
1
June
week.
18th to 24th, and in international markets where Disney Plus is not available, it was released theatrically.
Okay, so we
it's-
don't have money info.
It's
because
made $5 million at the box office, which
Okay.
is not a lot, but it is on
But
Disney
I
Plus.
mean, how many subscriptions do they get from this? We talked about that before, where people are like, "I want to see that. Let me subscribe."
But
Right.
that's the hard part. I think for me, in my head, it's like we said that about Hamilton first. That people like Disney got this huge
They did.
influx because of
Yeah.
Hamilton. But at this point, I'm not saying every person in the world has Disney Plus, but like most Disney loving people or musical loving people
Already
have
have it.
Disney
Have it.
Plus. So I feel like that's gonna be so hard to get like quantifiable data from.
Correct.
Because we're already watching it.
and they don't
Yeah.
have to release that to us. Disney themselves. They can keep that all for themselves and adjust their plans accordingly without having to report it to any authority like movie theaters
Yeah.
have to do. But for them, every couple thousand million subscribers or whatever
Is money in their
it's
pocket.
just another $9 per month in their pocket.
You can
know?
get some cute merch from this. What they really should do. You remember those Barbies back in the day, the mermaid ones, and you would put them in the water and they would change color? They need to do something like this, but it looks like a human doll. And then when you put it in the water, the scales go on it or something. Wouldn't
That'd
that
be
be
cool.
so
But you
cool?
meant like it morphed magically. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
But like the scales come on the doll or something like that.
Which
That'd
that's
be
one
so
thing
cool.
I forgot to say in the animation style
Mm-hmm.
is I thought the back of their head scales were so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Their little,
when it would like
spikes.
turn around their head, they looked like
It
like spiky hair scales.
Yeah.
It was so
I
cool.
really liked the animation style on this because they really made it look real, the background, and then they went fantasy more with the way that the humans look, which I was like, this is cool.
But better than The Good Dinosaur. Like, it was like perfect realism, and then this freaking bulky dinosaur. God, that was weird.
Exactly.
Sorry, Lou.
What does it have on the tomato meter?
So on Rotten Tomatoes, this film has a 90%, and has an audience score of 88%. So,
is there any critic consensus?
Yes, the critics' consensus says, slight but suffused with infectious joy, the beguiling Luca proves Pixar can play it safe while still charming audiences of all ages.
Yeah.
So that was a very wordy
I didn't
one.
think it was
But
super
there's also an audience consensus. It says, it isn't as creative as Pixar's best movies, but Luca lives up to the studio's standards for beautiful animation while telling a sweet fish-out-of-water story the whole family will enjoy.
But that's why I liked it. I was kind of ready for something simple. It was kind of nice.
I was just going to say, think of the ones that we keep equating it to. Inside Out and Soul. So contextually thick.
Right.
Like,
You
really,
mean
they're
Coco?
made
Heavy
more...
plot.
Well, yeah, Coco too. You think about it on an adult level, it makes sense. But I don't know, 3 through 10-year-olds who are understanding existential crises.
Okay, so he
No,
dies,
I could just throw
and then
this
he goes to the
on, and it's
afterlife, and
fine.
he has to
It's
find his
fun.
way back. It's a lot.
And
You're
I
right.
think I'm going to keep going back to this one because I really liked it. Like, surprisingly, it was, I just kind of needed something simple for once. And listeners, there comes a point, like, we have seen so many movies, and every time I watch a movie now, I watch it with a critical eye, even if it's not Disney. It's just a side effect of having a movie podcast,
For sure.
So it was really nice to just watch this and be like, oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good.
I think that's why I like DreamWorks usually, is because it is more simple.
Yeah.
With still good animation, and it doesn't make my brain hurt
Too much. Yeah. I really liked it. Well, I'm going to give my rating. I agree with the 90% score. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Like that's about all I can say about it. I mean, despite the fact that it's water, and we know Michelle likes any movie that has to do with the ocean. So that, of course, made me like it a little bit more. But it was just very simple, very beautiful storyline with about a kid friendship. I really liked it. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Andre?
I think I'm gonna give this movie like an 8.5 out of 10. It's really good. It's very serviceable. It's super simple. It's short. It's a movie that went in and out of my head very, very smoothly, very easily, very nicely. The animation is great. I like all the performances. This movie made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of good, cute, funny lines
But still a little
throughout
emotion.
it. And there's still a little bit of emotion. I really like the friendship aspects throughout the whole movie. The only like real criticism I have of it, honestly, is just that there wasn't quite as much excitement as some other movies. But that's not like a strict negative. It's just that
it was just simple.
Yeah, it was simple.
Yeah.
It wasn't super bombastic or epic or anything like that, which I like. But but overall, jolly good. 8.5.
Yeah, very nice.
2 black thumbs.
Emily? 2 black thumbs. I cannot with you. Okay, let's go, Luis. Luis, Emily's laughing.
I think I'd probably give it an 8.5 too as well.
Yeah.
It felt very kind of like a Stand By Me type of stuff, minus the dead bodies and stuff. I kind of like that the time sequence the time setting was also great.
I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't thinking about that too much, but I agree with you.
It's set in the past.
Yeah.
8.5.
8.5.
Very nice. Emily?
I finally got over that. That was very funny. I'm also going to give it an 8.5, but it's kind of more on the 9 side. I guess I can give it like an 8.7.
Sure.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like I need to watch it again because the score did not stand out to me. And I say that because I don't remember.
Right.
Like
I don't remember it either.
I don't remember being like, ooh, that was so good. But
We were like, is it Giacchino? We looked it up. It was not.
It's not. The music is done by
Giacchino.
Dan Romer.
well, what the heck? The one time you pick a white dude? Come on, watch Giacchino's white.
Yeah. He's not. He's Italian.
My and this is a positive point. Hate on it. I am so happy that we have had movie after movie after movie. I guess it's the Pixar side with no singing.
Yeah.
Like Don't get me wrong. I like a good bop, but
we
like
love a musical.
I don't need
over here.
everything to
Pixar
be
doesn't
musical.
really have it too
You're
much.
right.
Usually,
Yeah.
They sometimes have an iconic song.
Yeah.
But not necessarily singing.
And their scores are generally pretty great.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
But
I guess
yeah.
that's
They're
true.
more iconic because when you think Up, you immediately go da 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 da.
And then all the Toy Story movies, they're all done by Randy
Yeah.
Newman, and he's
There's
got
more
the
of a night.
Randy Newman songs.
Yeah. Or even like
You got
Nemo,
a friend.
I think of like the song I
Doodaloo.
walked into at her wedding.
Doodaloo.
Yeah,
Stuff like
Doodaloo. Oh.
Yeah, so there's usually good soundtracks in Pixar movies.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with all this.
Indeed. So yeah, that's Luca, everybody. 2021. Once again, we highly recommend you watch it. It's very good, and it's free on Disney Plus. Watch that extra documentary because it's illuminating and quite good. So next week. Next week? Is it a week from now? I'm not. Well, the next episode that's coming out. All right, we are beginning our summer of heroes with Captain America, the First Avenger. We're going all the way back to Cap's roots. It's going to be near the 4th of July, so we're getting patriotic up in this mother. And
that's the only patriot we can agree with.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch him fight some Hydra Nazis, and it's gonna be great. Stay tuned throughout the rest of our summer of heroes. We got some cool stuff coming up. We are going to do Black Widow as well, so get ready for that. It's coming out in theaters and it'll be on Disney Plus. So you have your choice of how you're gonna view that. Stick with us as we continue on. I did have one email that I wanted to read. Real quick here.
This is the one that Luis needs to be on. Luis hasn't read this yet, so he's gonna get. You've been lambasted here.
So this comes from our good homie Cian. Cian says, "Hello guys, I've been thinking about this recently. On episode 14, you guys covered Peter Pan, but the audio wasn't good, so you just did a small recap, or so you say. Yes, I believe we did like a 14-minute
it's out there
summary of our original review." Cian says, "Would you ever consider doing Peter Pan again or not? What is your answer? Also, P.S. Why does Luis not do battles anymore? Is he too busy or can he not be bothered? I wouldn't be surprised if it was the latter. # old man negative." So you got called out, Lou. Well, we did a battle today.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
We did one. And,
honestly, they just got I reached a point where it was just... I ran out of ideas.
Right, because you had to think of one or whatever.
Yeah, and...
in the beginning, he was like, ooh.
It just got easier to not go back and do them, and, well, we'll try every now and then. I mean, you got one today.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
I'm not promising anything in stone, but, I'll try.
There you go.
But we are bringing in our questions every week to kind of keep the conversation rolling Disney-wise.
Yes, exactly.
Or non-Disney-wise.
Yeah,
Whatever you guys want. Let's just have
true.
a
It
little
doesn't
bit
have
of
to be
fun
Disney.
with it, you
Yeah,
know.
our warm-ups will be about anything and everything.
Anything that might be on your mind, of course, let it be appropriate. We
Yes.
try to stay away from, anything political or anything like that. So, anything that's just silly, if you will.
Yeah.
Silly's a good topic.
We'll get fun and silly at
get
the top of our
creative.
episodes. So
You
yeah,
know.
so battles will come back a little bit, but you've got our would you rather's to look forward to. And as for Peter Pan, Cian, you're absolutely right, because our audio for Peter Pan, if I remember correctly, I didn't have the microphone actually hooked up to my computer at the time, so it just recorded off of my laptop's microphone audio, which was awful and could not be recovered. So.
Hey, is Hook Disney?
No, it is not.
Man, we could have done a pretty good middle ground there.
I wouldn't be opposed to doing a Peter Pan Hook kind of comparison episode or something like that. Or,
Well, Michelle had said Peter Pan and Peter Pan 2.
right, because there is an animated sequel to Peter Pan, and then there's a gajillion Tinkerbell movies or whatever.
Yes, which I just watched the first one the other day because Adeline was like, Tinkerbell! And it's funny to me. We could do that only because in the original Peter Pan episode, we talked for 20 minutes, you're going to have to bleep me, about how much of a beep that Tinkerbell is in that movie.
Right.
She out there trying to kill some Wendy's.
She's only like 2 inches tall, but she's got like 75 feet worth of pettiness within
right?
her,
She
She's
is
just
like
ready
pent up, okay? And she's like, if I could drown those mermaids, I would, but since I can't, I'm blowing up a Wendy. Like, right? So the reason that I think that is so funny is because in the Tinkerbell movie, they 100% are recreating her character.
Okay.
And so she is not... She gets angry, like she has a temper problem.
But she's not as feisty.
No. She's a totally different, like, quote unquote person. She's a different fairy. So it's funny to watch it because Addie's like, she's so cute and so nice. And I'm like, Tinkerbell who?
That ain't that Tinkerbell I know. Okay.
So it's very funny how different it is. I'm like, yeah, Disney's trying to back it up based on what they already did with her. They're trying to not make her a murderous beast. Okay.
Hilarious.
Attempted murder up in here. She need to be in prison.
So, seeing, yes, after our Summer of Heroes, we will possibly do a comeback of Peter Pan, and we'll do a revisit.
They're also trying to make them less racist.
Yeah. So, there's a lot less. What would the Red Man say in the Tinkerbell movie? I'm sure.
And Luis is like, Adeline, we don't repeat the songs.
Yeah, we don't get to sing this song.
Too much.
So
man.
yeah, we'll do a revisit of that one. And listeners, if there's any other episodes out there that you felt we were lacking on or doesn't sound that great,
the other problem too was that was before Disney Plus, and
yes.
Peter Pan was like super hard to
it was
find.
locked in the vault as well. Yes,
Revolted.
So we were revolted by this vaulting, and so now that it's available for everyone, yeah, maybe it's time to go back and do it again. And yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want us to redo, because it's been a while since we did some of like the real big hitters from Disney. We did a lot of them up at the top when we were in our baby podcasting phase. So,
in our prime.
Yeah. So I think we're quite a bit better at it now. So if there's anything else you want us to revisit, I think we'd be down to try some of those out towards the end of this year or next year or whatever. All right, you guys, thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Walt Vault. We appreciate you very much. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're getting every episode delivered directly to your auditory devices. We are on Spotify and iTunes and Stitcher and YouTube. We're all over the place. So make sure you've clicked all the buttons and the bells so that our episodes get delivered to you. We are at the Walt Vault Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where we'll be posting our Would You Rather questions, so you can answer that. And we want you to let us know what you thought of Luca. Did you like it? Is it one of your favorite Pixar movies? What are you thinking? What's up? What is your rating? So go there, do that, slide into our DMs. We'll maybe read your message on the show, just like Cian did. You can go to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com to send us an email, and we'll read it on the show. Also, don't forget to support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/thewaltvault. Do that. Sign up for just a $1. We'll give you some extra content, and don't forget that our Marvel TV reviews will be coming out to Patreon listeners first. All right, you guys, that's been it for this episode. We will see you next time for some Captain America goodness. The vault is now closed.